All right, I should be good. I should be going.
Streams on.
Should be. Hopefully.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Something's gonna freeze. Like I always make it to where the cameras freeze for a second. I don't know. It always messes up for me, no matter what I do.
No matter what.
I could prep for 3 hours. It's still gonna mess up somehow.
That's the fun of it. Like when you have all that like the technical difficulties there, it's like a live performance, you know? As a musician, like you do the same thing. It's like whatever happens, happens. It's part of it.
Yeah.
It works.
All right.
I got push to talk on too, so just in case.
Oh, not me. Mine's wide open.
Wide open?
Yeah,
Perfect.
you're hearing everything.
Good. Go for it.
If a dog barks, you're hearing it.
Just in case somebody pops in my stream and I'm just like, I start talking to them. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if it's. Oh yeah, no, that'll work. 'Cause it's a live mic for that.
All right, let me just post this in Discord. Bloop.
I want one of your streamer mics. I want one of those eventually.
I got it for like concerts. I was hosting concerts in a little like makeshift venue. So this was I think it was, I don't even know. But it's like it's not the proper mic to have. So I even need like a new one. But I did buy like the arm.
So awesome.
But it's a cheap one. It's bad. I need a new one.
Yeah, well, it works for now, right?
Yeah. This is a placeholder. All right.
The sound is better on your mic though too. It's so clean.
Yeah. I'm picky about that too. Like I hear myself and I'm like, I don't sound like that.
That's why that was like my couch has got like my jack in the background. That's why I don't like using the headset because I don't like the way my voice sounds. So that's why I use the Razer Keo because the way it sounds. Picky.
I've got that. Okay. So let me introduce you properly.
Ta-da!
Because I know you as Coastal, but
Yep.
your Twitch is Spirittchill, and your in-game priest name is Spirit. Yes. How do you say Spirit?
Oh, goodness gracious, to me in the spirit, yes.
Spirit. Yes.
Spiritius.
Spiritius.
Spiritius, yeah. Spiritius. It means ghost of the forest. It also is a vodka, a Polish vodka too. True story. That name was like old. I got it from like it was been since I started playing like in like 2004.
And I know you as a boomkin, but then
Yeah.
I learned to also know you as a priest and now also a paladin healer as well.
I'm a more of a wannabe paladin healer. I'm still learning that one too, but mostly disc priest and boomkin. Those are like my names. Heart.
And yeah, you've been on the PTR every time I'm on my computer. I look and you're doing something on the PTR, whether it's healing or playing the boomy.
Absolutely.
And
100%.
I've only been in there twice, so I've been jealous.
No. Don't be jealous because there was like 7 a.m. mornings a few times, like 2-3 days in a row. Waking up, having to go to work exhausted.
Yeah.
But
how many runs would you say you've done, like total, healing and DPS?
Honestly, I can't count. I can tell you the days and the hours maybe, but the first PTR I was in there from the time that it like kind of released all the way until like the very last minute. That was like what, 7 days? 7 days. I was in there almost every single day. I must have streamed like 40 hours on PTR, if not more. It felt like.
Jeez. And it's been a mix of 10-man, 25-man, pugs, guild runs, everything, right?
Everything. I had a friend drag me into a run. Like I did a world tour. I was doing heroic dungeons and they were like, hey, come heal this, and I'm like, oh my god, like really? All right, fine. And I did that. That was a 10-man PTR run. And yeah, it's just been a mixture of a lot of different things, and I even got to like go in with salad bakers just randomly. Oh, that was cool. That was cool.
That's one of the best things about PTR is getting to play with people from EU, like anywhere, and just meet some new people.
It's like traveling. Like when you go to travel, you get this like perspective. You have a different perspective of life. And I feel like PTR can be like that because you're not just like with different people with different cultures and how they approach their game and how they approach their leadership. So you just get more cultured in that aspect.
Oh, yeah, because you were. I caught like a stream where you were doing a raid with a German guild, I think,
That was
the
this
other day.
weekend.
Yeah.
That was that was awesome. It was awesome. We fell apart though after Hodir because there was some stuff happening where they kept on. It was it was just not working. I think after Hodir, but it was really cool. Like they were funny and they were great people. I did one. I think the leader was French. That was we did Yogg one. We did a Vezax, got Vezax, and then we did some Yogg one. But the one with the German guild, like it was really hard because they were doing all their comms in German. And that was a warning. They were like, we're gonna be doing our comms in German. I was like, I can hang with this, but it was I would hear German and then I would hear coastal and then I'd hear more German. So I was like, be resing. I was like, I hope that's what you want me to do. It was worth it though. Have you done pugs as well, or did you get to go with your guilds this time or last?
The first one I did, we did a 25 man, and it was like half guild, half pug, and then kind of the same thing with the one that we did Saturday. It was like half guild, half pug, but that one was 10 man. So
Nice.
it was nice to know a couple people in the raid, but
It's also good for you guys to get in there, dude. Even if it's just a few of you, you get in there, you know how each other is gonna like work, and you're on the same mindset before Ulduar actually happens.
yeah, and it was our raid lead was in both, so like he got to
That's good right
see
there.
and get some notes and stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I was a crusader. My guild, I was like, we need to TR. Like, please let TR. They
Yeah.
pulled it around. It was
We had some people that were hard stuck on being like, no, we're not going PTR. Like we want it to be fresh. We don't want to know anything. And it's like, I mean, I see that, but I know they're gonna be the ones that go in there and they're gonna die to X mechanic on whatever boss. And I'm gonna be like, well, if you put a PTR, we could have one shot this boss.
even just once, just going in there just for like normal modes, just to see what it's like, because Ulduar is it's not Nax.
Yeah, and
It's definitely
you can watch the videos. You can have your raid lead tell you this is what's gonna happen. This is when to use this cooldown. But until you actually see it, yeah, like I messed up on Freya, which we can get to later.
yeah.
But there's a really important mechanic that Boomies have to handle on Freya, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. And yeah, I messed it up.
You get in there and you're just like, oh no, oops, was I supposed to do that?
Yeah.
It was like me trying to learn how to div sack the first time, and I ruined Undying on our nap, and I was oh, that feels bad. It's part of the game though, but I think depends on like what people are playing for and what you're playing for. Like if you want to go in there and fresh and like just kind of go through it and learn and just get all the normal modes the first week, I guess it's okay. I don't know if you're like me, but I'm competitive. I want to like hard modes first week. Let's do this.
Yeah. I'm kind of like I feel like it's gonna be like Sarth was, where I'm fine doing a couple of attempts, but at a certain point, if some of the mechanics just aren't being handled properly by some people, then it's like, okay, let's just move it on. Let's get to the next boss. We'll come back next week, try it again. Like that's my take on it right now, because I was stuck on Muru. It took our guild 113 attempts in Sunwell to down Muru. So like
I was watching you guys. I'll be honest with you, because I was watching your videos and stuff, and I fell for you. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like,
yeah. So
it's rough.
I'm kind of over those 3-hour nights on one boss for progression. Like 45 minutes, an hour. All right, let's call it. Let's just head on. Let's do the easy mode if it's possible and just head to the next boss. Let's get some loot.
Which is nice about Ulduar. Like Sunwall didn't have that option. Sunwall was just like all hard mode the whole entire raid. Like Ulduar you can some stuff,
Yeah.
which is nice. I never really thought about that until now, huh?
Yeah, well,
I've been saying that though. I'm like Sunwell. I think Ulduar's hard modes are hard, but I think Sunwell overall is a hard raid in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Especially KJ and Brew. Oof.
Even that first boss kind of getting harder the more geared you got because everything was going faster. So you
Which
had
one?
uh
Calicos?
Calicos, yeah.
Oh yeah, because you had
Because
to slow down your
you
DPS.
wouldn't send enough people down, or you'd send too many people down, and then the timings would be off because DPS was kind of scuffed.
The
Yeah.
logs bothered me the most about that too, because you'd see your
Mm-hmm.
parse, and I'm like, parse to 4? That's not fair.
Yeah. All right. So the first boss in Ulduar, though, is an interesting one. It's a mechanical one.
Leviathan.
Yeah, Flame Leviathan.
Yeah.
And I, the first time that I went there and I did it, I forget what I even did. I think I was on the back of a demolisher. And then when I did 10 man, I was on the back of the siege. And I think the siege is kind of like, it felt a little chiller, a little more safe for me. But are there any mechanics that we should be doing that you think on Flame Leviathan? Like, what vehicle do you think we should choose as Boomies? And
I don't know if it matters. Does it matter?
okay, well, I didn't know like the whole getting tossed up on the back. I did get tossed up on the first run, and I think I tried to Starfall, and it didn't hit anything up on top of the boss, like the flame vent part. So I don't know if we really need to be tossed up there or not. Did you ever get tossed up there or?
I got tossed up by accident like 2 or 3 times. So kaboom can flying through the air, and we didn't. It wasn't. It didn't do anything.
What classes were you sending up? Do you remember?
Uh, I don't. No one really spoke about it, to be honest. No one was talking about catapulting, but I think a lot of people on PTR at least are doing the normal Flame Leviathan modes. Like I did one where we were there for 2.5 to 3 hours trying hard mode Flame Leviathan, and it wasn't at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, no one really spoke about it. I never really thought about it either.
Yeah, we did the same thing. Like even on 10 man, we tried hard mode a couple times and then just called it and just did the easy mode so we could get on through it.
It's like whatever. Are they counting that for speed runs or for even parses and things like
That might be on the thing. Fight removed for DPS and healing, but it
that?
might stay
Interesting.
for speed.
So I guess for
Yeah.
our overall server rankings is
Knowing what you, yeah.
I
Uh,
wonder if there's a mode that they're going.
you keep cutting out a little bit.
Oh geez. I wonder if yes too.
It might just be like you're facing away from your mic or something.
That's probably what it is. Yeah. Most likely. I'm like looking up. I'm like trying to like really see what's going on with these they're saying about Flame Leviathan, but I wonder if because it says it's likely staying for speed.
Hmm.
Um, but I wonder if it matters what mode it's on
Oh yeah, like harder, normal.
or normal.
Hmm. I would think it would have to be hard.
I would
I don't
think so
know.
too. Yeah, I don't know. Our current thinking is that we will apply time penalties for any boss that has a hard mode but isn't mode. Oh, so maybe there's a time penalty if you don't do the normal.
Maybe there's like one tower that they go and just down one tower, make it a little bit easier, and then like skirt on up there to the boss or something.
Possibly. Simplest solution here is just to give full credit for the highest hard mode level and to add a 5-minute penalty. 5 minutes.
5 minute.
Ooh, if you do not do the hardest mode of a boss, that's a lot of time. Yikes.
Oh man.
Boy, oh boy. I know that gear levels make a difference though.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So getting that KT and that melee loot, even if you don't need it just to equip it, that is where it matters.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna try to get a 10 man group, if not two 10 man groups in before our first 25. Just I think it just depends on what day of the week the phase launches. If it launches on Thursday, I think it's gonna be less likely that we'll get a couple groups in there. But if it's on a Tuesday, I think we'd be more inclined to get a couple 10 mans in there just to get the extra eye level gear and a little bit of extra, DPS and healing and stuff too.
That's really smart. We're definitely going for like men's. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna try to run these two or three. Get there, just get it. But yeah, we've been squeezing max as dry.
Yeah.
Trying to get that gear.
Yeah. There's only a couple pieces left that we just haven't had luck on it dropping that we're still in there after.
Dying curse.
Oh, for you?
No, for you.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
fine, you
yeah, yeah.
too.
Yeah. I got it
Everybody's
on
got it.
my main and my alt.
Oh my goodness, you got two of them? You lucky person.
Hmm. But I'm after the same thing you are still, the wonton legs. Yeah.
I molded. I was
Yeah.
upset that I didn't get those.
I got them on my alt, but not my main. So I need them on the main.
That hurts. The
Yeah.
haste is really good, and then you can just. I got them, and I'm just kind of like on PTR. I was like, do I really need these? It's just all haste. Like, I'm a crit person. I like crit. I was like, maybe I shouldn't be that concerned about it. But
Yeah.
they have gem slots,
Oh,
and the spell power is really good.
yeah. All right. So Flame Leviathan, I'm not really excited about that fight, but the rest of Ulduar,
Yeah.
I'm excited for.
Yeah.
So the next one I have here is Ignis, the Furnace Master. And that's an interesting fight. It kind of gives me Grobulus vibes. Because the boss, at least on one of the runs I did, got kited around the room. But then the other one, they kind of just stood it like right next to the water.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really any kiting.
Mm-mm.
So
that one, I liked that. I thought it was easier, honestly. Just you could stand there and pump.
Yeah. And what was it? They're going to only count the killing blow on the iron construct from damage done or remove the damage completely from the iron construct. So that's the mob that needs to get kited into the water, and then it's like a one shot, right? Like it just dies. Pretty much. Yeah. So I mean, I think that it says, or the worst option is to remove the damage done to it. I mean, I kind of would rather the damage get removed completely instead of just the last killing blow count. That sounds kind of weird. What do you think?
It's weird to me. I think that's weird too. Like, why wouldn't you count anything like that?
Yeah. And then Death Knights.
The Death Knights with the raised dead, Army of the Dead, and summon gargoyles. Those Death Knights are just getting it this phase. Like,
yeah. Oh, I mean, I wonder if that's going to change now because this rule was out before the potential gargoyle change.
That's
and
true.
haste being dynamic. So we'll see what they do with Death Knights, but
we'll see.
Yeah. But it doesn't.
That fight from the healer perspective is actually.
It doesn't say anything about us getting like we get a haste buff too, so like it's not going to normalize the haste or anything. Like I guess they can't, but so are we going to need that haste buff to parse maybe?
I mean, I assume so.
Yeah. It was kind of fun. I got like tossed up into the pot a couple times on the 10-man, but I didn't really know what was going on. Like I knew a little bit, but not that much. So do you know off the top of your head like what the haste buff even is?
I don't remember honestly. Have you seen the? Where is this? On this there.
Let me see if I can find it.
I think my other. Oh, this is like the Bible for Ulduar right now. Razorscale Ignis is right here. Do not waste damage on the ads. Do not take unnecessary damage from burnt ground. Stop casting with flame gems.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah, what was the name of that one?
What?
That we have to stop casting for?
Flame jets.
Flame jets, yeah. So that was an interesting one. So I kind of like, I was almost using like the same rotation pretty much that I've been using in phase 1, except for I was like keeping, like I was saving Insect Swarm for that. So like when I saw to not cast, like I would cancel or like finish because it gives you like 3 seconds or something. And
Right.
DBM pops it up and it's like, stop casting. And then you can see like the cast bar. So I would maybe finish like a Starfire or toss out another like Wrath or two. And then I would put my 2 dots up because the mechanic knocks you up in the air.
Yep.
So you can't cast once you're flying. So I would try to not have my dots up for that. And then use both dots when I get knocked up. And then maybe even Typhoon too. It just depends. So
And
if I
Moonfire.
needed it. Yeah.
Moonfire. I use Moonfire a lot, even like Hyken and stuff too. Like I'll spam Moonfire sometimes. I'll look
Yeah.
at the logs. I'm like, oh, I too, but it might be good because we do have the dots as a boomkin. Why not use them? Why not use all of them? But I think
Mhm.
you're right. Like wait till you get when you can't cast, and then
Yeah. You might have
TBM timers.
you
I
might
love them.
you might have like a noise gate or something. Because
Probably.
like, you'll be talking and then like it just goes quiet. And I'm like,
Why is it happening? Go for Discord. This has been like a year thing, I'm telling
so
you.
you need the mic, like you need that arm so you can have the mic like right there, right in your
It's gonna
face.
happen.
Yeah.
I just bought a 27-inch monitor.
Mm.
So I decided the new video card. So my next purchase is going to be like an Uber microphone with the arm thing, the
Yeah.
whole entire 9 yards.
Nice. Yeah, you got to spend like $150 on it or something. Get the good one.
Oh, that's worth it. Maybe push to talk is better, so it's not just going on the voice activity. That might actually be better.
Ah, maybe.
I have a foot pedal. I should just use the foot pedal. True story.
I need a foot pedal.
They're great. I don't know. It's just like it's like another thing to actually have to like use while you're raiding. But look at this thing. It's kind of cool.
They have the single foot.
Yeah.
Nice.
As a piano player, it's fine. But I was doing, oh my god, it was Black Temple. And I had my foot on the foot pedal and I forgot. And I got stuck. This is a boomkin, you're big. And there was that little skip you can do like before you're going into council. And I got stuck and I screamed into the mic. I'm like, oh my god, I'm stuck. And there was a really good guild with us. And it was really embarrassing. And people made fun of me for it. So I stopped using the pedal after that. Thank you for
Oops.
boomkins having a big like body in dungeons. But yeah, anyways. That's the story of the foot pedal. Anyways, Ignis.
Yeah, Ignis. Yeah.
Ignis.
Yeah. So, what else to talk about on Ignis? Yeah. You had what was the haste buff that you get when you get into the slag pot and get tossed out?
God, I don't know the name of it. It should be here though, right? That's the thing with me. I'm such a field player. Like I know what's going on, and there's a lot of mechanics, which is why I do PTR so much because I need it to stick in my brain. But I'm very reactionary, and I'm very like, oh, this is happening. I need to do this, and I react like that. Going into a fight, sometimes I don't know, and then once it's here and there, it's just like that's why there's been a week and a half of PTR this time around.
I might be able to find it here. Let me see.
Is my mic better now with the push to talk?
Yeah.
All right.
It's not cutting off.
All right, cool. I'll just keep my finger on this the whole time.
Yeah, no, it's always awkward like doing that on Discord. Because my push to talk is my my plus sign on the little number pad, and it always just like spams it. If I click on anything, it's just like, whoop.
Why are you doing that?
Like what should it be? What
Caps lock with your pinky.
caps lock?
Yeah.
But then I can't use caps lock, where I'm like toggling it on and off.
You have the whole entire QWERTY thing, and then the numbers and the shift and the alt and the controls.
Maybe I should make it the little squiggly up above tab.
I tried that once. It's not the worst. It's definitely not the worst. But if you're trying to talk and then walk at the same time, it's a little bit, and then whatever. Keybinds. We should do a whole entire Boomkin keybind thing.
Oh gosh, I need help on that. Yeah.
Keybinds and macros.
All right. Slag imbued? No, slag pot. Here we go. Oh, haste by 100% for 10 seconds once you come out of the slag pot.
Oh, so it's when you come out of it. I see.
Yeah, if you survive being in the slag pot, when you come out, you get 100% haste for 10 seconds.
You have to watch your mana.
Yeah, so
Can you bait yourself when you're in there?
you should be able to because I could still cast and everything.
Yeah.
There might have been some like downtime from being able to cast, like going from the ground up into the pot. But once I was up there, I was able to continue like casting and doing DPS. So
How long are you in there for again?
mm, I'd have to look at my VOD.
I didn't get to do Ignis this weekend. People were just they wanted to go see Vezax and Yogg. Like that's it seemed to be like that for most groups I was in this weekend. No one that I knew did Ignis. We did XT last night, but it was like Flame Leviathan, maybe XT, and then straight to Iron Council hard modes.
All right, 101. Let me see. It looks so funny on the replay. Like my little icon just goes like right next to him. Somebody was comparing it to like the kangaroo pouch or something.
Oh,
It's
it's like that,
nice.
honestly.
Yeah, it looks
Wait,
like it's
are you playing it?
yeah, I was just like playing the replay.
Is it on YouTube?
Mm, should be. I think it should be. Yeah. It's up there. Yeah.
I'm like, I want to see it too.
Yeah, like my little icon just like hops on over and then just kind of like sticks to him. I'm like an atom.
You're an atom.
Yeah. We became a molecule.
But you could Starfall in there too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's another good point. Like anytime you get knocked up from the mechanic that knocks you up, any instant cast spell is good for that. If you have to
No,
innervate somebody, that's the time to pop your innervate.
that's the time to pop it.
That's the time to pop Starfall if it's off cooldown. Yep.
Do you think while you're up there, like you know you're gonna get that 100% haste buff, right? Do you hold your pot so when you come out of that, you have that 100% haste, and then you use a crit pot. So you're casting at like maximum speed, and you have the opportunity to crit those, which will then also put you in a faster eclipse.
Mm,
Unless you need mana, but I mean, let's hope that doesn't happen.
I'm trying to think. Like usually, because it looked like the first one I did, it was about a minute into the fight. I feel like usually at a minute, I'm in like I'm getting into a solar phase, which would kind of suck. Like, yeah, I mean, but once you get out, it might be a lunar.
I mean,
Mm,
you can proc that. You can proc it, and I mean, you can hope to proc it. You're at the RNG God's favor, so
yeah,
that's a point
yeah.
too. When did you guys lust on that?
I want to say we
Start?
did at the very start, but yeah, it was a
Yeah.
little 10 man.
I mean, it's kind of like you just hope for that because if you don't get in there and then you don't use your pot, then you're kind of like, well, whatever. Because I mean, you're pre-potting, then you're lusting, so you get the haste, right? And then after that, you just hope like maybe let me get in there so I can get the haste after. And then if
Yeah,
you hold it, maybe just watch the boss's health, and then if it's like at I don't know 20%, you don't use up. Then you use your pot regardless of what happens,
yeah. Hmm. I like it.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't get up there, then yeah, you send your potion. I might, yeah, I'd probably wait until that first one. And if like I would still send it after the first one. Like I wouldn't wait to see if I got up there the second time.
Yeah, I mean that could happen too.
Because I always like using wild magic with Starfall. So if I don't get into the slag pot, I would like Starfall would be off cooldown. I'd pop Starfall and wild magic. That's just me. I,
Yeah, so you don't do speed potions.
nah, I haven't used one.
Wow,
They're sitting in the bank. I've gotten some from like Quest and stuff, and yeah, just they're collecting dust.
interesting. I usually pre-pot with crit. That's wild magic, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And then I'll wait for the Starfall eclipse, and then I will. That puts you in lunar phase, right?
yeah.
Yeah, lunar. So I'm like that. I'm like, where's north again? Oh, it's that way. Like my GM gave me a compass, so I knew like legit in game. He's like, here, use this. True story. Um, but yeah, I usually wait for the lunar eclipse, and then I'll use a speed potion just so I get faster because I know that those hit, but
hmm
play styles, you know.
I like bigger numbers. Some people like quicker cast with a little bit smaller number. That's fine.
Yeah. I like the big numbers. I don't care. However I can get those.
Mm-hmm.
Because
The
right now
wild magic.
I'm gonna try it now.
Yeah.
Watch. I'll try it. You're full 99, so you know what to do.
Yeah, it's working for me. So
My boomkin's just my alts. We use it for our split raids, so that's my excuse.
all right, and Ignis does not have a hard mode. Or
Not have hard mode,
yeah, it does not have a hard mode. So a nice little place to get some hopefully easy loot. It didn't seem too hard of a fight.
I've had groups where like they didn't know how to deal with ads and things like that. And it was from a healing perspective. It was rough. It was really rough. But DPSing was really fun.
Yeah. Were there any other ads on that fight, or was it just like the one? I think it's just the one, right?
I don't remember. I'm
Yeah.
like trying to go back to like the first time around.
Yeah.
Actually, I almost forgot, but yeah.
I think that's
And
all it
then-
was.
That's it. Yeah.
All right,
So I
so
can see yours, but next time.
so Razorscale.
Easy.
I'm trying to, really easy. I'm trying to think of like what boss to compare it to. I mean, I guess they compare it to Gothic in here, right? Yeah, because there's a couple waves of ads, and they're small little waves. There's like 5-6 mobs that come up out of the little mole driller thingies, and it's looking like
You get to harpoon the boss down too, which is a lot of fun.
yeah. I'm leaving that to whoever wants to do it. If you want to feel special and harpoon the boss, go for it.
Go do it. Like I'm planting my feet. That's it, guys.
Yeah, I'm planting my feet. I'm getting ready.
There's ads that come out of that too, which I remember starfalling for those and like using Hurricane as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
here it's remove the damage done to leftover phase 1 ads.
mhm.
So it doesn't matter.
So yeah, it's kind of like KT in a way, because none of the phase 1 is going to count. None of the ad damage is going to count. So save Starfall for when the boss lands. I think you can get one in beforehand if you really wanted to help out with the DPS on the ads. You could like Starfall really early, but yeah, none of that ad damage counts. Only Razorscale, and this could change.
Is that on a timer though? Like, is the faster they go down, does he come out faster, or is it just like set time, whether the ads are down or not, he's coming out?
Let me
But
see.
it does say it's like removes damage done to leftover phase 1 ads. Maybe it's on a set timer then.
Yeah, I think it's a set timer. I did record my stuff. I haven't gone back and looked at the VODs. I recorded just in case, but
Do you have it? Can you share it on Disc or no?
oh
Is that gonna mess up the thing?
yeah, it would mess it up.
Come on.
Where's this 10-man?
Send me the link.
I'd need to send you my hard drive. Yeah, I'm not even showing it on screen here, so this is just my private video. It looks like, oh, it just says timers. It might be like a little over a minute. Like 1 minute and 10 seconds when phase 2 starts. But you still have to like harpoon the boss down. So yeah,
So it's a set timer.
Yeah, it looks like 1:15, 1:20 after the fight starts, the boss is coming down.
Awesome.
So yeah, I would at that point, like I would just save Starfall for when the boss comes out.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's weird because like you get the boss to 50% HP and then the boss just stays there, doesn't fly back up. But I'm feeling like
It's such an easy boss.
yeah, like if Blizz changed it to like 25% or something, it would make people have to do 2 waves and maybe spice the fight up, but then it would give some guilds an advantage for longer because they could one phase it faster. I don't know, but being able to skip the mechanic week 1 feels kind of weird.
It feels weird. Maybe it's not the worst thing because there are going to be guilds that might have some trouble inside of Ulduar, so maybe just giving them an easy boss here and there, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, get some gear out of this, maybe to help a little bit. But I mean, people, I guess, were like, oh, come on, make this harder. No. Sticking up for those guys.
Yeah. I'm getting asked what glyphs will be the go-to for phase 2. Do you have
Typhoon. Typhoon.
like made
Unglyph Typhoon.
unglyphed typhoon?
Unglyph Typhoon, 100%.
But just for like Freya, or you mean like the whole raid? Is that one that's going to be kind of like Heigen, where we would take off focus just for that fight and then put focus back on for a while there?
Yeah, I think so. I think also you could definitely glyph swap there, here and there, because I found some places where Typhoon really does help with the boom bots. And like when you're going right before Mimiron, like if someone does something that they shouldn't do or they die, or especially for prog, like maybe later on it'll change, but I think for prog it might actually help kind of save some trash deaths on those bombs and on the Euromongers before Hodir,
Oh yeah.
because those guys come at you too, and if you pull threat, you can give it right back to the tank. And there's a lot of threat pulls too, but again, it's in a vacuum and PTR, so yeah. um, I haven't really dived too much into that. I have to think more of it. I was more so like really focused on mechanics and learning, so I didn't
Yeah.
But for me, Typhoon was one of those. Get rid
And
of Unburdened Rebirth. I will take two bag spaces up for those reagents. 100%.
yeah, I've had the Typhoon minor glyph all of like phase 1, and another Boomy hasn't had it, so they're getting to have fun like knocking all the mobs back and stuff. And I'm like, I want to be able to do that. And so yeah, Freya's that chance for me to do it, but
Boomkins can finally spread their little owl wings and just
yeah.
go. I'm so excited about it.
But yeah, major glyphs. I know some people are throwing around for progression to have the rebirth glyph to give people like extra health when you rebirth in like battle res. So that could be something if you're having to battle res consistently, like fight after fight. And even one boss, I forget what it was, like I battle res and then whoever I battle res insta died because there was like a chain lightning or something from the boss. So like that's a potential just for progression. And also innervate, because you might be innervating your healer or
Mages.
somebody, yeah, maybe a mage, whoever needs your innervate. Or if you battle res, having a little extra mana for yourself if you're able to use it on yourself. Regardless, like giving innervate away and getting an extra little bit of mana back could be useful.
100%. Again, especially for prog. I think in a month or two from now, it's going to be completely different, or from release. But I agree, 100%.
And there was another one for like Freya. I took off focus because I feel like when I was typhooning the little lashers away, my Starfall wasn't really hitting them anymore unless I like typhooned and then like got close to them again, which then I was in range to like take the explosion damage when they died. Are there any fights or situations where you think like not having focus on would help, so you have the extra range on Starfall? It's a big question, I know.
Big question. Vezax, maybe, because you are not close up. So when you have to get out with Mask of the Faceless, and when you have to move away from your shadow crashes, no matter, we were moving back and then to the side. So that extra little range could help you. What else? Yogg, maybe, because those ads are in the middle, and I've seen some like there were a lot of different strategies for those ads when they come out of the gas clouds. So I think that could help. Where else? As we go through the bosses, I'll probably think more.
Okay.
Yeah, Iron Council definitely not. You're up and close and personal with that dude.
Yeah. So I mean, if like after progression and with getting some new gear and stuff, I think Starfall's probably still going to be a really good one to have. It's going to depend on the fight length. Some fights might get fast enough to where it's like a Nubricon or a Grand Widow or all these other like really quick like minute 5 or less fights where that glyph's not going to matter on those specific fights. But overall, having 30 seconds off Starfall is still really big, especially on like trash and stuff. And then Insect Swarm, I think, is still going to be around for a while. But people were talking about not having Insect Swarm for what's the Algalon? So that would just be like that specific fight, not having Insect Swarm glyph, so that 3% chance to miss will be effective, since that glyph removes that 3% chance to miss chance, however that's worded. But
Do you
yeah,
know the reasoning behind that?
to give the tanks a better chance to survive.
Oh.
So the hunters don't need to like mess up their rotation and their glyphs and stuff or whatever for Scorpid Sting, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So, or if you have more than one Boomy, then one Boomy could be the support Boomy, and they have it unglyphed, and then you could still have yours glyphed. So then we've got Starfall, Insect Swarm, and then I would prefer to use like Starfire, I think, as my third. Some people say Moonfire, but you say you like to spam Moonfire sometimes, and
I do, but I shouldn't be doing it. I just do it as a filler in between, and I think that comes from Black Temple, because when you were moving and stuff, like, oh, I need to do some kind of damage before I get back into my group for that boss. It's been a while.
yeah. So like
But
Malagos, when you get tossed up in the air, I'm spamming Moonfire. Like
yeah,
I'll Insect Swarm, I'll Typhoon, and then I'm spamming Moonfire. And if I have it glyphed, then I'm not going to be doing any damage from the spam. So yeah, I would. Some people say like the Moonfire glyph sims more DPS than the Starfire glyph, but it's the sim, so
it's the sim.
it does its own thing. And yeah, so like I think I would pick Starfire. That's just my initial thinking at like post progression. Starfall, Insect Swarm, Starfire.
Starfire.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with that thinking too. It depends on if you're speedrunning or if you're like you're progging or if you're parsing or if you're just there just to kind of have fun. It depends on playstyle too. As with everything,
Yeah.
it does.
All right, so I'm getting asked another question here about multi-dotting on fights. Did you find yourself multi-dotting like a couple ads and stuff on different fights, or?
um, not a Thorim, because when you're going through the gauntlet, there
Mhm.
are three. I mean, again, Starfire Hurricane helps you, but that helps get those ads down 100% because you have to move out of the flame jets coming out of that dude's arm. So yeah, and there's like three mobs of like the dwarfs. So
Thorm, let me see here. Uh,
Yogg-Saron for sure, because you have multiple ads, especially when people are making those guys come out of the clouds. Yes. Definitely not Oriaya. Freya, maybe. That's more of like an AoE fight. Hurricane, I would say. Definitely Starfall.
yeah.
Thorim, no, not at all. What else is there?
I mean, it looks like parse wise, like just strictly parse wise, the multi-dotting thing might not matter that much. Because
Is it
even
worth it?
like Iron Council, if you're multi-dotting, it's only going to count the dot on the main target, the first target that goes down.
Right.
And then,
Thorim too. Thorim doesn't matter, I guess, right?
yeah, so like Thorm, it's saying the ads from phase one or like all that damage to the ads is just going to get removed. So it might help you mechanic wise to get into phase two, but like strictly parse wise, some of these bosses, it might not matter that much. And even you had touched on Aurora. I don't know. How do you say it?
Oriaya. I think it's
Oriaya.
the cat lady.
Yeah, the feral defenders. The damage from those might be removed as well, and a couple other bosses. But
That makes it difficult though, because if you're taking the damage away from their feral defender, the people who have to get the feral defender down the first or second time, because it's diminished. It's she does the defenders do less damage as the fight goes on, but that kind of cucks them then, doesn't it? Because they're not on the boss; they're doing damage to the defender. However, if you're doing passive damage as a boomkin and you're still on the boss, then it then I guess it doesn't cuck you.
What do you think about the tier 8 set bonus? Well, we're on like dots and stuff,
Oh, the gear. I don't.
moving and stuff. Just the proc itself. Like we don't have to go into like is the 4-piece better than the 2-piece? Is 4-piece like when do you swap from 4-piece tier 7 to 2-piece 4-piece tier 8? None of that stuff. Just like what do you think about that proc
Go,
with all the
go.
movement? With all the movement, do you think the proc is going to be useful on the
You
movement
guys,
fights?
whoever's on your stream right now, and you are going to judge me for this completely, but I haven't looked at that yet completely, and I
Ooh.
can't remember right now. But yeah, I know, I heard it because I've been so focused, a little bit focused on the Disc Priest as well, and I've been focused on my Holy Pally. So what is that T8 set bonus again?
So
'Cause I forgot to
the
look.
tier 8 set, I'm not quoting this. I don't have it pulled up right here, but it's like if you have insect swarm up, you have a chance to proc. It's like an 8% chance to proc an instant Starfire cast. And
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do
the
remember that
proc
one.
lasts for like 10 seconds. So you have to have insect swarm up for it to proc, and then yeah, you have 10 seconds to burn that proc, and there's no internal cooldown.
I think it's worth it because you're so on the move in Ulduar. You're always on the move. If that thing procs, it's like having a trinket proc. I 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You guys are all gonna be like, this gal.
I'm clipping that little part. Yep.
It's fine.
Spirit said
Spirit
four
said that.
piece. It's really good.
It's good. I mean, is it completely worth it? Probably not, but it could be situational. If like you
Yeah.
can gear switch,
That's what I
you
was
can
thinking.
totally gear switch.
I had
Yeah.
that same thought, like gear switching. Like if you need it for a boss, you have your 4-piece. If not, you kind of need like. I mean, we're gonna get into talking about gear even more than I wanted to.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the
That's why I was like, I was gonna deep dive into that too. You're like,
yeah
well, we'll just go through boss mechanics. I'm
yeah.
like, cool. I was like, I have to go to work today. I was like,
I think you need like
interesting though, honestly.
you would need the 252 gear. I think instead of the 4-piece for those slots in order for the non 4-piece to be better, even on like the single target boss.
Yeah.
So 4-piece I think is going to be more useful than I would like it to be. I don't
Yeah.
like the proc, but unfortunately for my play style, I think it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be worth it. It's at no mana cost, right?
Yeah, I think it still costs mana. I think it's just free
Oh,
though. That's a good question. Do you not? You haven't gotten 4-piece yet on the PTR?
me? No. You think I
you,
should?
you can't hop on there and check for us? Like how many conquest emblems do you have?
Oh, I should have gotten them. I just didn't even check.
I think it's like 58 that you need for one token though. So Scotty, what's up, man? Sorry, Scotty J. It's like
Oh,
it's
that's
3
so
a.m.
good.
What is Scott doing up?
He's a gamer.
3 a.m. There must have been some like a blue post with some news. He's up recording a video right now.
Oh, there you go.
All right. All right, bringing it back on track here. We got Razorscale, Iron Council. It's an interesting fight. So I tried hard mode a little bit, and
So much. It's my favorite.
it was there was some mechanics on that fight. So there's 3 bosses. It's kind of like the bug trio back in like AQ40. It's giving me that kind of vibes.
I'll be honest with you. Never did AQ40.
Oh, no AQ40? Oh, okay.
I did AQ20 all the time. I never got to do AQ40. I started playing this time around at the end of vanilla. So I started like I think it was the second to last phase 3, phase 4. I never got to see AQ40. Sad.
Well, the comparison I was trying to make is there's 3
Sorry.
no, you're good. There's 3 bosses, and if you kill them in a certain order, it makes the fight easier or harder. So I think for this one, if you kill them in like the biggest first down to the smallest, that's the easy mode. But if you kill the smallest boss first and then finish with Stormbreaker, I think his name is,
Hmm.
then that's like the hard mode. So we gave that a try in the 10-man, and there's a mechanic where there's like a little blue circle, and that's like a
Yep.
good circle. You want to be in there
That's the good circle.
while all 3 ads are up. And then after you kill an ad, then you want to like get the second ad down to like 10% HP. And because there's like a second mechanic, I'm explaining this horribly, by the way, but
You're doing good.
there's a big like green circle on the ground, like the death circle,
It's a
whatever
death
that's
rune.
called, the death rune. Yep,
Rune of Death. Sorry,
rune of death.
So
Okay.
it's Rune of Power is the blue ones, and Rune of Death is the green.
Yeah. So like you want to stay spread in phase 2, and not be in the blue thing, right? Because you don't want them to stack right before you kill it, so you can burn the last boss down.
You want to stay in the Rune of Power as much as possible because you need to keep that DPS going, especially for hard mode.
Mhm.
But when you see Rune of Death is about to come out, I can show you if you want me to. I have that pulled up, or should I be able to like pull it up? But DBM will tell you like Rune of Death in like 10 seconds. So like at that 5-second mark, everyone spreads. Wait for Rune of Death to go, so not like a whole bunch of people are in the same rune, and go straight back to when that blue thing comes up, you run right back into it. And you DPS your heart out.
Yeah, so that's gonna be an interesting fight
Oh, it's a
for
fun
for
fight.
parsing. Let me
Yeah.
clarify for parsing.
Yeah. I'm so prog minded. I'm just like at first, and then afterwards I'm like, all right, now I'm ready to like pump. But yeah, for parsing 100%, you want to be in that rune as much as you possibly can.
I know. I used my nitro boost to get in there, but for progression, I think I was like, well, for progression on the PTR while we were doing like the attempts, I was kind of holding my nitro boost in case like the rune of death, whatever it's called, I keep forgetting, whatever that one is. If that like popped underneath my feet and I was in the dead center of it, then I liked having my nitro boost to like yeet myself out of there.
Yeah, 100%. But it happens often too. So I don't know if it's less than 2 minutes, then it's great to have that if it's underneath you. A failsafe for boomkins or druids in general is you can go into your dash and dash out of it too, but you have to be fast
Yeah.
doing that. I was actually thinking about it on the way to home today from work. I was like, you could use dash. I haven't done that, but is it worth it? I don't know.
Yeah. For progression, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. For parsing, you want to stay in that form and just go and just continue to cast as much as you possibly can. Yeah. Don't do that unless you have to. Final say.
Yeah. But yeah, Iron Council. Remove the damage done to the boss mobs before they heal up when one of their mobs dies. So it's like Starfall is gonna look good, like our details is gonna look good, and then some of that damage is gonna get removed. So we might be looking like we're pumping in game, and then we go to our logs, and then all of a sudden the arcane mage just destroyed our damage on a log. And yeah, it's like but details said I was number one.
Why do they do that though? Like I don't understand.
Because
especially for a boss like that, like why can't it just be everything, you know?
you could cheese it. You could like get more than one target down like really low, and then it's gonna full heal, and then that's just more health you can burn through.
That's fair. It makes it more fair across the board, I guess. It evens it out. Because people were cheesing Lurker. I remember that back in the day, especially for healer parses. People were like taking damage in the water, and then there's one healer just healing those guys, and they were the ones getting all the rankings and stuff. So
yeah, we just got our first log got invalidated last week because we had a warlock life tapping to try to, I guess, pull the undead mobs through the gate, and they life tapped too many times, and I didn't realize that it's a way that invalidates your logs if a lock life taps too much to pad like a healing parse. Yeah. I was like, I mean, that makes sense, but like, that's not why we were using that mechanic. Like, we weren't trying to let our healer parse on a boss that doesn't count anyways, but yeah, so.
I was back in the day, like in SOCTK though, I was like sniping those heals. So they took that away. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, so I don't think like our speed for that run didn't count, and I think that was like a couple minutes off of our faster run, and I was like, oh man.
That hurts. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than like looking and seeing those time penalties. You're like, damn, I pumped. Like that's a minute. Like, come on.
Yeah. All right, so the next boss is Ariaya. I think I said it right?
Oh yeah. You can use target dummies. I have an obsession with target dummies
I
in
saw
Ulduar
you
for some
drop a
reason.
target dummy. What was the target dummy about?
Them because they don't attack you, as healing from a healing perspective too. Plus, it's just fun. But the cats will go after those first before they go after you. So if you do, for me, it's just like a feeling of comfort that I know it's not going to come from you first. Nimron it works on too for the little bots that go around. I think Freya maybe. If there was so much going on in Freya, I was just. But yeah, that's what I was doing that for. You can do it all at once. So when the cats come out, they'll attack those first and not the players.
So I am a big fan of Alkin Frenzy, as some people might know, and I kind of want to get attacked by the dogs to proc Alkin Frenzy. So I did see that I got a proc from like the pounce from them. So yeah, the healers better be ready. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
go! Don't do that. All right, do it like 2 weeks in.
Yeah, do it once a healer has Valinair, right? And it's like you have no excuse to let me die. You've got the Biss legendary weapon. Like keep me alive.
You're talking to a disc priest slash boomkin, so be nice to your healers,
Yeah.
or just bark skin, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, yeah. I'll bark skin. I can give
All
them
right.
that. Since it's not a GCD anymore, I'm fine with that. I can bark skin.
That thing is into my hurricane macro too. So every time I hurricane, it's up there.
Yeah, so there's two different types of uh dogs, ferals, isn't there? Like, so there's. I gotta look it up. Unless you know.
An Oriaya?
Yeah, because there was like a bunch of them that spawned, right? And I think those probably had like lesser health, and they might have been named something different.
Yeah, I have to watch it again. Do you want me to pull up the box? I have it. I just have to.
Yeah, I'll try to look too.
Let me see. Light. I think I named it Cat Lady. Can you see my screen?
Cat lady.
Cat Lady. Where are my highlights? Video producer.
Freya, Thor. Yeah, our GM's logs got split 4 ways for some reason
No, really?
for the same run. We were like, what is going on?
That's rough. Oh, here's Cat Lady. There we go.
Damage done. Okay, so the Sanctum Sentry. It looks like
That's it. Yeah.
Feral Defender. Maybe. Oh, hold on. What's no? So the Sanctum Sentry. That's the two original ones, I think.
Right, and then the
That's what it
Feral
looks
Defenders
like.
will
The
come
Feral
out
Defenders is the big group of them
when you first pull it. Oh, I clipped this a little bit
or
too early, I
something.
think.
It's like one big one, but I think there's a bunch of little ads too.
Yeah.
So the sentries, that's good to know because there's sentries. I like that the damage counts towards those then, because that makes it almost
Right,
like a Nubercon.
right. I probably should have popped Starfall there, just like thinking about it.
Just pop it right off the rip.
See, now there's something to think about too. Like if you know if there's is there a DBM timer for that fear?
The fear.
You see the Feral Defender activate Sonic Screech. So once that Sonic Screech, you see that on the bottom? Dot dot. So while you're if you are feared and you don't have a shaman totem, you have damage passively happening.
Do you know for sure that the shaman totem works?
Oh
Because
no, it's terrifying Screech. I'm sorry.
our
It does.
our raid was saying
Did it?
the totem doesn't stop us from fear. I thought it did.
Oh yeah, maybe. No, it didn't. All right, I stand corrected. It's a terrifying Screech, and then you have this here, Swarming Guardians. I guess damage will count towards that. It's just not the Feral Defenders. But those are easily done with NG damage too.
Yeah, so that's like Mexna, where the little tiny spiderlings don't count.
Doesn't count.
Yeah. I know like the
It
first
melts.
the first 2 I think weeks in Nax, maybe even 3, I was holding like I was waiting for Typhoon to hit all of them to try to like snipe the little spiderling damage, and then I realized it doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
It's like, oh man.
Rip.
Okay, so yeah, I'm getting told the totem works, but it could be the tick of the totem could make it take forever. But yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, like if you was there a cast time for the fear?
That it comes out.
Yeah, or like a
You can
timer.
tell. Yeah, there's a timer for it.
Okay.
Terrifying Screech. So it's just something to look out for too. It's like if you want that passive damage as you're like being feared, then there you have it. You know,
Mhm.
be like,
And
all right, let me put up like an insect swarm, or let me put up a moonfire, or both, and then just
yep, because back to like the Mexna mechanics, like right before the web spray, I'm always like insect swarm, moonfire, and then I'm spamming like typhoon just in case. Sometimes that typhoon shoots out too, like
yeah. If you
right before
have a
I'm stunned.
priest, if you have a priest that likes you,
Yeah,
they can dispel it. They can mass dispel it.
yeah, mass dispel and fear ward, right? But they're
Fear word.
as boomies, we're probably not getting that fear ward.
No, no, no. It's going for your tank. 100% going for the tank. Um, but what you could do is you could if the priest, if it's an undead priest, they can will of the forsaken out of it and then mass dispel and then
Mhm.
you're back in the game. But like again,
So we
I
need
mean it's min maxing to the finest.
we need undead boomkin, is what you're saying.
No, no, no. You need an undead priest in the raid so they can will of the forsaken out, mass dispel you. Then you're not feared for long, and then you get back on the boss and do more damage.
But if we ourselves as boomies are undead, we'll have Will of Forsaken, and we can just pop out of the fear.
Talk to the devs, see what they can do about that.
I've been
Did,
wanting an undead boomkin.
that would be
Season of
amazing.
Mastery 2, give me an undead boomkin.
That would be amazing, honestly. I love Will of the Forsaken. I'm telling you, there's a few times in Ulduar where they're like, "Oh, see, WTF," and I'm like, "There you have it, guys."
All right, yeah, but that's a quick fight. Did you have a fight length on like your 25 man? Because our 10 man was a minute and 30, like really quick
Um,
fight.
I don't think I have it clipped or saved um this time around.
Yeah, so this is one where I was thinking like, Starfall glyph might not really matter later on. So if you're really trying to min max, this could be one where you have like a second spec, swap to your second spec that doesn't have that glyph. So you can have like uh Moonfire, Starfire, and like Focus or something like that
Yeah,
for that fight.
definitely. Yeah.
Or even Insect Swarm.
God, there's gonna be so much work to do in Ulduar. Like in Max, it was such a walk in the park in Max. Like Ulduar is gonna be a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, that was an interesting boss because like the boss has hardly any HP. Like when we got to it in 10 man, I was like, why does this boss have like 3.5 million health? Like all these other ones have had like 10 million or whatever. It was
It's
weird.
just it's one of those I think Razorscales where it's like here's some more loot for you guys. Makes you feel like you're
Hmm.
getting through the place.
Yeah.
You need those little in between bosses I think sometimes
Oops.
too. But you could also mess that up. Like there was a 25 man that actually that raid that I did yesterday, 2 days ago. Well, whatever, it's the weekend. But we were done with Hodir and they aggroed Oriaya like 3 or 4 times and the raid fell apart because of that. 'Cause you could it's maybe a quick fight, but she's in a scary place.
Yeah. Yeah, the ads all around there are fun too. Like for the not
Yeah.
the ads, the trash. The trash.
The trash is like Nax. Like their bosses in Nax are the trash in Ulduar. The trash actually has mechanics. Like there's runes that'll come on the ground when you first get in there. After Flame Leviathan, you can't sit in those runes or you'll take damage. There's
Oh yeah,
ads
the
that
little red ones, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
There's some trash that you have to tear apart. Like the ones in that room, I think that's what you're referring to. And then the sphere comes across, and you have to
yeah.
get the sphere down first. And you have to try to get those ads down at the same exact time, or then one will go into an enrage and can one shot your tank or really do a lot of damage to your tank. So, yeah,
Yeah, then we had a bunch of issues. I forget how you pronounced it. The Yormongers.
we were told last night that one of my guildies met. He's Euromonger is the correct way of saying
Yormongers.
it. Euromongers, Euromongers.
Yeah, like that whole they were calling it a gauntlet. That whole like hallway.
Yeah,
The whole like frozen hallway was pretty rough because we would get like knocked up and something that like we would just spawn all the little snakes all around the hallway.
and you smell those from the snow piles on the side.
Snow piles, yeah.
So if you wipe on that boss and you go back, you have to be careful because those snow piles, I believe, will respawn. And I've done that where you actually spawn them again. So be very careful.
Yeah.
Hug the walls and look ahead.
All right.
Ah,
Oh,
such a great raid. So good.
I skipped a boss. Because we did Iron Council, but I skipped XT.
Oh, we skipped XT and we
Skipped
skipped
it.
the dude with the beard that falls down and makes a bridge as you go across.
Is that Cologarn?
Cologarn. Yes,
Cologarn,
thank you,
yeah.
that dude.
I was just getting way ahead of myself. I've had okay, I've had more drinks than I thought. So that's my excuse. Oh, every night. No, not every night. A couple nights. But yeah, I don't work tomorrow, so yeah.
Oh, party it up. Take some shots.
Yeah. Oh, don't tell me that.
Cheers, I'm a bartender. Once a week.
Yeah, so XT. So XT, I don't think hardly anybody tried hard mode on 25 unless you've seen
No.
some the past couple days.
I wish I did more research today, or I wish I had clipped some more stuff. My first 25 man in there. I did try XT hard mode on a 25 man, the first PTR.
Mm-hmm.
Really tough.
Because people were just getting one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wiped. It was done. It was really rough. It's doable in a 10 man. Fox did it. A few other people I think did it too. Actually, it's funny. Scotty J was watching his video today too, and he said he did it a few times easy on 10 man.
Oh yeah. He did say that in one of his recent videos, and I was like, what? I was like, then why didn't we even try it? Like, I think it got lost on our raid lead, like thinking that it was just completely impossible on 10 and 25. So when we went in 10 man, we didn't even try it. It's like, oh man.
I admittedly told my guild master that it's impossible, and he messaged me today, and he's like, nope, people did it in 10 man. I was like, oh, really? But it's a 25 man. That's near impossible unless you get geared.
But yeah, there was some
drinking. I love it.
There were some mechanics in that fight where
right now, what are you, Captain and Coke over there?
Captain and Coke. Crown. Crown.
All right, that was gonna be my next thing. It's like
yeah.
Jack or Crown.
A little bit like one half shelf up from Captain.
Are we allowed to say this?
There was something on the radio. I don't know if they're allowed to say like brand names, but I don't know if there's like a regulation on like streamers being able to talk about liquor brands. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever.
YouTube will let me know when this gets demonetized and gets taken down and I get a strike on my channel. I'll know.
I'm sorry. I'll send you like a $10 check.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Oh man. Oh yeah. So there's an enrage timer on XT too. I didn't even pay attention to it because we never really even tried hard mode. We just did the easy mode and went on through. But I'm trying to see if Warcraft Logs talks about the ads on there. Maybe that's why I skipped bosses. I was going by the Warcraft Logs notes. I knew I wasn't going crazy.
No.
Yeah.
It's not on there.
Yeah, they don't even have specific notes for that boss because there's a bunch of little ads. There's no way that those ads are going to count on a parse. I don't think. So like when the heart comes out, the ads spawn from both sides, both of the corners from the back and start coming up.
It's so unfair to range though.
Yeah, like there's no way they're going to let that count.
I mean, I guess you can choose that too. I mean, you can choose a lot of that stuff, but yeah, they probably won't.
But like, so what I was doing though, so at least for progression, I was like helping take care of all those ads as they came in. So that would be another fight to not have your Typhoon glyph, minor glyph, to get the extra little knockback back. Maybe. Because like if you have the minor glyph, you get the extra range, so you could at least daze more of the ads. But they didn't really have that much HP in 10 man. So I think if it's like, we have 2 Boomies, I think if we sent like 1 Boomie on each side and then like 1 other AoE class, we might be able to just take 4 of our raiders and handle the ads or something.
Yeah, I think that's actually a great idea, especially if 2 Boomies, 1 on either side. I mean, if you're able to like hit the boss and hit those ads at the same time, like that's pretty bis, I would think.
So that could be another one where we don't use the glyph of focus.
Yeah.
Take that one off so we get our range back on our Starfall.
Man, it's so different. Like Nax is like you're so clipped as a boomkin, like you can't you pull so many other things. Can't use Typhoon, you have to be careful in your Starfalls, you have to watch that on Lotheb. Now it's like, have fun, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna be bringing like a stack of each glyph into the raid every week.
Scribes everywhere gonna be making some G
Yeah,
finally.
yeah. I need to prepare now and go ahead and get some crafted.
Yeah.
Hit up my local guild scribe.
Get all the inks.
But yeah, that boss fight, like that's another one where it's gonna be a little bit of RNG if you get either of the what are the I don't even know what they're called. The sparks, the lights. I know there's a good one and a bad one. I
There's
mean,
a good one and a bad
they're
one.
both bad, but you have to
Yeah.
move out for both of them.
Yeah.
So if you're targeted for that, your parse is gonna look a little bad. But that's
Again, if you have Starfall up and you're away from the raid and it's doing more damage, then you're good for that too.
yeah, yeah. So
But that's like it depends on where people are standing. I mean, you could probably have people like in a tighter group, so like you can still be close to the boss for that. But
yeah,
yeah,
that could be another one for like our 4-piece. Might come in handy if you get the debuff and you have to move out. You might already have insect swarm up, so you moonfire
I was gonna say
and
Moonfire. Don't forget the
yeah,
Moonfire.
you moonfire and then you hopefully starfire proc and then hopefully 2 GCDs and you're far enough away and you can plant. And then you can have your nitro boost to either get back in or get out. So you can nitro boost, get out, and then waddle back into the group.
Waddle back
I mean,
into it.
we're boomies, we're big, we're waddling back.
Can you go in cat form out there too? I didn't really check because it is outdoors. I don't know if it's considered outdoors behind like.
You might be able to cat form, or I mean, you can always cat form, but you travel
But
form.
yeah, cheetah form. Yeah,
Yeah, probably,
but then you're ripping mana. But I mean, you can spec your talent into that too.
and a GCD.
And a GCD. That's
Yeah,
true. You're probably better off. Man, you really can just go deep into it. And it's just like, no, keep it simple.
yeah. I know. Like I try to avoid dashing at all. Like I think the only time I dash in Nax is to make the ledge jump, and I dash was on cooldown this week, and I freaked out. Like I shifted into the cat form, and I was like, all right. I went to use dash. It was on cooldown, and I got to the edge of the ledge when I realized, and I was like, I'm not gonna make this because I'm expecting to have dash. So I sat there on the edge, and I was like, all right, 3, 2, 1, and I just like ran off and like prayed, and I feel like I barely made the jump, and I was like, oh please,
It's like close eyes.
yeah. I
I
was like,
can't watch this. I can't watch this.
don't let me fall off and miss the ledge. I'm supposed to joke the people that miss, not be the one targeted for the jokes.
Imagine that happening if you're going for immortal.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have to imagine.
Oh, did it happen?
It might have happened.
Oh no!
But that player didn't die, so like but we lost like the DPS because we had one less polarity stack because they ran back up and they stood on the top of the platform so that they didn't jump down and like mess the polarities up
Oh,
and die. So like they sat out of the fight pretty much. But
thank
yeah,
God. All right.
we still had a death though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was that achievement was the bane of a lot of our existences. Oh goodness gracious! I'm telling you, like after we got immortal, like the week after, like we're like we're just going in there and we don't care. Like we just blew everything up. We're like we're gonna die 5,000 times during this raid. We don't care. Let's just go.
Yeah.
It felt so good.
Oh, but
Sorry, back on track. Old War, not next.
yeah, so back to XT. So the heart takes extra damage. So we're going to want to have our cooldowns for the heart if the heart damage counts towards the parse. But since there's no notes about whether or not it's going to count, it's hard to really say right now. Like, do we starfall at the beginning of the fight? Is it not going to be back up for when the heart comes out? So we want to hold it. So that's going to be a fight where we're going to have to wait and see when to use our starfall. Hopefully we can pop it off the start of the fight because I hate holding it for any length of time.
Yeah, I mean for parsing, I think server rankings too, because like if I'm not mistaken, like parsing and server rankings are kind of two different things. So it's like if you're doing the most damage, even on the ads and stuff, and like that kind of counts. I like seeing server rankings personally. I'm like, oh, I'm 68th this week. It's not bad for Splatoon, you know? It feels
Mm,
good. It's like, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm surprised I haven't said anything yet. Maybe they're trying to still like make that decision.
yeah.
We need to get on that soon. Ulduar's in like 2 weeks. Let's go.
I know. Less than 2 weeks, hopefully.
Yeah. Jeez.
And you said Cologarn.
Yeah, we
So
didn't talk about Cologarn.
there's no notes for that one either.
Is it on the progress one?
And that's the fight where it's the big dude. We see like torso up with the two arms. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I'm trying to see like what I look like. Okay, so the left arm and the right arm.
Yes.
This is the left one.
Yeah, stage left, stage right.
Yeah, right. This is the right arm.
So
wait, yeah, this is. See, I'm already getting it mixed up.
Yeah.
Right arm, left arm, but
just
it's
have your enemy bars up, so
Yeah.
the name's on top of it, and then just go for it.
yeah.
It's your left. Your left. Don't worry about the right. It's your left.
And I made sure that we can put the like a target on there too, like an icon, so you can have like skull on the proper hand, so everybody knows hit skull.
Hit skull.
Yeah.
There's a lot of groups in PTR like that didn't know that you just leave the other arm away, so you just like pretty much left body, left body, left
Mhm.
body, which is really right body, right body, right body.
Yeah. And what's really nice on that is I think Starfall just kind of like hits everything, like the splash damage and stuff. Like when I popped Starfall, I was just seeing like loads of numbers go up there, and I was like, sweet. So hopefully the hands count for the parse.
You do get the focused eye beam zone. You do have to run away from that because that will hurt you if you get into one of those. I died. I died yesterday. Not on the Moonkin. Not on the Moonkin. I tunneled healing, but yeah, you die. So, but you do run away. So it's like if you have a bigger Starfall range, like, and you're on the other side of the room, if that's where you decide to go, it is still hitting the other stuff. So the middle and the right arm,
Right arm, yeah. But yeah, like that's a fun fight for me. Like, I don't know, as long as everything counts, as long as all my damage on details is going to show up on the log, I'm good for it.
Yeah.
But that's another one where it's going to be one of those RNG things where if you get gripped by the hand and you're stuck there, kind of like getting web wrapped, then you're just going to be out of the fight for 5-10 seconds. And yeah, GG parse.
Rip the parse.
Rip my parse.
Rip the parse. That's your favorite emote in my channel. Is rip the parse.
Every time something happens, rip my parse. Tombstone.
I'm like, oh, rip the parse. I'm on the floor. Rip the parse.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's an easy fight. Let me see how long it was on 10-man for us. I think it was pretty quick.
It was hard getting 25 mans for some reason this PTR. I think a lot of people did it the first time around, and the second time it was like people got the idea of the fights.
Yeah, so 1:49 for us in 10-man. So that's going to be another one that's going to be getting to that 1 minute or below fight length. Maybe like a month and a half in, 2 months in, once people get geared. It's going to get really quick.
Yeah. For progress, I'm surprised Oriaya is optional. You get 1 point for Cologarn, but yeah, it's optional. You don't have to do Oriaya.
I guess you could just kind of skip her patrol since she goes like halfway around the room there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an easy boss, free loot.
Again, another one.
Yeah, give it to me.
Beef up your raid a little bit more, you know? Get that second and third bis out also.
Yeah, I know. As long as she's got some loot that I want. If not, then never mind. We can just skip her. Just let her patrol around.
Yeah.
But that's one where it felt bad not having a rogue in 10-man to distract her. So it's like, we got ready as she was like starting to walk away, and then it was too late, and we had to like wait the entire patrol, which just takes forever.
People, or the guilds that are speed running, they're gonna have to think about that.
Yeah, they're gonna have somebody like up ahead. They're gonna have the rogue sprint after Cologarn to get up there to scout it out. Yeah.
It's like Patch. Unless you take her and wherever she's at and you kill her with the trash mobs that are out there too. So now you're like, maybe that's why she doesn't have a lot of health either. So it's like you're trying to evenly kill those ads. You've got the Sphere you've got to contend with, and then you've got her. It's
So
it's possible.
you're making it hard mode, yeah. Like they didn't give us hard mode, so we have to make it hard mode ourselves. Just pull all the trash in there. Yeah,
Why not?
I like it.
Yeah, you could do it. It could be a strat.
All right, we've got Hodir. Hodir.
Ah, it's my favorite.
Your favorite? That was
It's my favorite fight. It's so fun.
that was an interesting one. So
I got confused sometimes because I was like, there's only me. I'm the only boomkin in this 10-man right now, and I was like, oh wait, that's the dude that's trying to help me.
yeah, so there's 4 ads, and they're frozen. And I guess we're able to do all these things to them. So as druids, we can fairy fire them before the boss fight starts. And then
Starfall.
Before it starts?
Oh yeah. Beforehand.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just get in there and just Starfall him out.
And I heard something else today too. So we might be able to Starfall before the fight. So
Warlocks can seed them.
Yes. Not seed. The Doom one. Like before the fight starts.
You can seed them.
But once it does damage, the fight starts?
Yes. But you can pre-seed them. I think I have it on the VOD.
Like I knew warlocks could like curse them.
Yeah. You could definitely see them though. Let me see.
Strong. But somebody was saying today that I heard that you can distract the boss so that it's looking away, and then you can kill, like you can break the 4 ads free, and then the fight won't even start.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know you could do that.
But if they fix that, or if that's not supposed to be a thing, because everyone's gonna do it, if they change that, then druids can still like fairy fire all 4 of them, and then you can put whatever debuffs on them before the fight starts.
Please do damage to him. I had no idea. Oh, do they not seed on this one?
Yeah, I heard they can Curse of Doom.
Interesting.
And then it's just like, 2 minutes or whatever until the damage from that comes out. But I really don't know how seed works.
Yeah, I think seed goes out, and then once you do damage, once there's damage put onto that thing that's seeded, then the seed goes off.
Okay.
So I think that's why it's okay. And I remember Warlocks doing that, but don't 100% quote me on it. I thought I had it on this one, but I guess I don't. But I'm almost like 80% sure that you're able to do that. But yeah, I don't know. That's just Starfall going off in the beginning of that fight. So I was so excited about that.
Well, back to the parsing. If that damage doesn't count, then yeah, like we're gonna want to wait until those get broken out, so none of the stars get wasted on the ads on that damage, and then we're gonna want to Starfall, so we can guarantee all of our damage gets. Motorcycle. It was loud. Sorry, that caught me off guard. I don't know if it came through the mic, but
I heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is like right out my window. That's not even a motorcycle. That's a car.
It's a car.
That's a muffler. That's some exhaust coming out.
Damn.
But yeah, like, so I don't even know, because I was barely in there, so help me out on this. The 4 ads, there's like a mage, there's a druid, there's something else, and they just help us throughout the fight. And one of them, I know it's on like the right side of the room, it might be the mage, it drops a little campfire.
Yes.
And that's where we want to be, right? Like near the campfire?
So I was thinking the same as well. There's like some passive sound coming through my ass. Let me just take this down for a second. All right. You want to be there so you don't get those freezes all the time. However, I was told yesterday that an icicle will fall off the ceiling and put the fire out, so then it kind of cucks people. So you don't necessarily want to stand next to it all the time. There is the Moonfire Beam. That's what our Boomkin friend gives us, and that gives you a haste buff. So I think being in there is probably better, and then you do like the wiggle thing, like you're doing in next. Yeah. So you're going back and forth with your turn, so you don't get like that freeze debuff. So you don't get like ice Frost Nova. You don't get Frost Nova there, which you can power shift out of, by the way.
Yep. Yeah, so that's a good point though. The mechanic is just like Nexus, the last boss in Nexus, where if you stand still and you're planted just casting your Starfires and Wraths, then you slowly get a debuff that stacks up more and more. And yeah, you want to be like stutter stepping in between your cast or standing next to the fire. But if the fire is getting put out, then stand in the haste beam.
Stand in the haste beam.
And wiggle.
And wiggle.
Okay.
You wiggle. Do the wiggle.
Or like anytime you're reapplying your insect swarm, you wiggle. You Starfall, exactly. You wiggle.
Use that GCD to wiggle. I mean, the boom kids wiggle. They do a great job. You know, their little like tail feather goes back and forth.
I've never looked to see if the tail feather moves, but I'm gonna be looking next time I log in.
I might just be making this up in my own like imaginary mind because I'm just like, it's a boom kid. I have to stare at your butt. It's your tail feathers moving.
The edge of the aura, but not close enough that you're picked for the AoE ice, so that it won't put out the fire. So yeah, I was really trying to be as far away from the campfire as I could be. Just I don't know why. I was just trying to find the range. You can stand pretty decently far away from it, and still get it. Yeah, and then
from a healing perspective too. I know it's we're talking about parses and things like that, but it also as a priest having to mass dispel that, there's a lot of stuff going on too. And mass dispelling when people are frost nova is it's a lot. Don't get frost. Help your healers out. But pump. I mean, you have to on that fight too. If you want to activate hard mode, you have to meet that 2-minute DPS check, or he smashes the cache at the end of the fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the mechanic that I was struggling with, it took me a couple of attempts to figure out what was going on. Was there's an 8-second cast that the boss does, or a 10-second cast, something like that. I don't even know the name. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. But the boss cast a long cast. Flash freeze?
Yeah.
And
I'm tunneling here. Let's watch real quick. It's not that long of a fight.
Yeah, the first 7 seconds of the cast, let's say.
I'm so glad that you have that. You're like, what's the name of that? Because that's how I am too. And then once it happens during the fight, I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Because there's so many mechanics we have to keep track of in the game. You know, it's a lot.
All these spell names. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, I got time for that. Sorry.
I forget what the little icon even is. I need to pull it up. I need to look
Flash,
too. Of
the is when you have big ice or snow mountains that go on the ground.
Well, the snow mountains aren't there immediately. It's something else, right? That you can see. Is it just like a blizzard? And then the last 3 seconds, it turns into the little snow pile, the snow drift, and then you want to hop onto that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took me a while to figure out. I thought it was you wait for the cast to expire and then you hop in there. Not that you only have 2-3 seconds at the end of the cast to hop into the snow. So you can position yourself. Oh, it's just circles, right? It's just blue circles on the ground.
Yeah.
So you want to move yourself close to the circle, but not in the circle until the last 3 seconds of the cast.
Correct. You see that right? Biting cold. That's the name of that mechanic right there too.
We're piecing it together.
Yeah, we're piecing it. It takes two sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But yeah, that took me a little bit to get the hang of. So if you don't make it into the snow in time at the last 3 seconds of that cast, you're going to get frozen and rip your parse.
Right.
Because you need to now get broken out, kind of like a web wrap on Mexna.
It feels so bad, but it's your fault though. It's you're at the mercy of Mexna when you get that web wrap, but this one it's your fault.
Yeah, personal responsibility on this one.
And it lasts a long times too.
And then
you're also cutting damage off that Hodir if you want to do that hard more.
Exactly. Yep. You're making the fight last longer than it should.
Yeah. You get a Stormcloud too during this, which gives damage to your raid members. So again, it's RNG. But if your Starfall's up, you'd probably want to pop Starfall for that too. And then you could probably use Moonfire as well.
Yeah, so
see that person died right there.
No
You just mentioned this personal responsibility.
No no notes on what's going to count on that is the damage,
No.
cuz you could abuse that if you're really wanting to. You can have like people get frozen so that there's more damage that needs to be done to get cleaved. So
Yeah.
I would imagine none of that's going to count. Only damage to the boss. If I were to guess.
Um, where's Hodir on this?
So then that would make the beam really important to be stood in for the haste.
For the haste, but then you're gonna go depending on how much haste. Like I ran the last Boomkin raid that I did. I did full bis for that, and I was running 503 haste, and man, it was rough. It was rough on the mana. So
Hmm.
it's like you're in there with that haste buff, and then you have 503 haste too on top of it. It was yeah. And I had to give my bait out to a mage as well for that, which is I was like, you better give me some focus magic, dude. Thanks.
So you were just spamming Starfire at that point? Like regardless of Eclipse or like inside of the beam?
In the beam, I was doing Wrath and Starfire, yeah.
Wrath still too?
Yeah. If I wasn't in Eclipse, I mean, I do that, like, I do Wrath until I get the Lunar Phase and hope, and then,
Yeah, but
start.
how much haste was it?
When I was running the 503 haste, or when I was running the full bis, like,
From the
full.
beam. From the beam. Like how much haste
Oh,
does the beam give?
from the beam, I don't know. Let me see here. Let's go to the Bible of Ulduar and
Yeah,
see what they say.
because I don't know if I stood in it too much.
Iron Council, Cologarn, or yeah.
Your scroll wheel sounds like a frog. Croaking. Like, meh, 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 meh.
Not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some real life friends that actually watch my stream, and they'll come to see me sometimes at work when I'm bartending. Like, I heard your mouse wheel last night. It sounded like somebody was dying on your end. Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Frozen Blows freeze.
There might
DPS.
be.
Flash freezes. Does it not tell you? 50%.
50?
Haste. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of haste.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if we would probably still follow our eclipses, I think. Unless like it's in a lust. If it's in lust, you're probably just spamming Starfire. If you're in the beam, I imagine.
Yeah. Which is great though, because it's you don't have any mana cost during that, right?
During lust? Yeah. Lust and lunar? Yeah. You still got mana.
You're so mana. Well,
but
no. Just
you've got a lot of crits, so you're getting a lot of mana back.
Yeah. So left land on the moonbeams. Oh, the shamans or the storm cloud. That's the one. What does that do? Storm Pastor can be shared with limited number of players. What does it do?
Storm cloud?
135% damage.
Increasing their critical strike damage by 135% for 30 seconds. Ooh.
That's nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. It depends who gets that storm power though, or the storm cloud, because you have to run around the raid to give that. So that's a good.
Oh, the storm power, yeah. Increasing critical strike damage. Ah, that's what that does. I knew that I got that debuff. I got the storm power debuff, and I was told to run around and like spread it because you want to spread it. So hopefully, like we don't get the storm power buff ourselves and have to run around the room, but whoever is running around gets it to us really quick.
It's to you, but if you do, how do you maximize your damage as you're running around?
Moonfire.
Moonfire.
Insect Swarm.
Again.
Typhoon.
Yeah. There you go. So multi-dotting again, maybe just not multi-ads, but like you're still putting dots up. So.
Yeah, the Starfire instant proc from our 4-piece. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. Oh, I was like, that'd be really good if we had the haste buff too, but I mean, it might be like GCD capped anyway, so it wouldn't really matter if it was instant or not because it still has a GCD. But
yeah,
I got excited for a second.
Sorry.
Yeah.
you're gonna be pumping in this place.
Oh yeah, yeah. That looks like it's gonna be fun. As long as the personal responsibility from everybody in your raid group is responsible.
Frog first, the first week. After that, you can pump.
Yeah. So is that a fight? Do you know? Can you like wipe it up if you don't meet the hard mode and go back in and
Yeah.
try it again? Okay.
You stand in the bad.
The chest refreezes and okay.
Yeah.
What do
Yeah, 'cause
well?
he destroys the cache at the end of the fight.
Oh, at the end of the fight.
Mhm. Or when you don't hit
When you-
the DPS.
yeah.
You don't hit the DPS down.
Mm. I wonder if they just did that for the PTR. I don't know. I'm asking weird questions. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Oh. You stopped.
Did it really?
You stopped the screen share. So it broke the cameras.
It broke the cameras.
Yeah.
Again.
Ripped my camera.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
There we go. Yeah.
Better?
Mm-hmm. Perfect. All right. What's the next boss?
Thorim, my least favorite fight.
Thorim. Yeah. I did Thorim. I'm trying to think of what Thorim was though.
Everyone says it's the easiest hard mode. That's the one that when you go into the gauntlet, you
Oh,
avoid
the
flame
gauntlet.
jets. Yeah.
I didn't care for that one.
I don't like that fight. Not a fan.
Yeah, that's the one that we were talking about earlier. None of that damage in phase 1 while you're going through that gauntlet is going to count. Only damage to the boss after you've like dropped down, it looks like it's going to count. So you want to be up at the edge of the ledge, ready to hop down, just kind of like Glyph in Nax. You want to be up there with your tank, like ready to go.
It ends when the first interaction with Thorim happens. Where's phase 1? Yeah, you just have to be ready to go and drop down, or just hope that you're not in the gauntlet and you're in the arena, so you get that first tick of damage off.
Mm-hmm.
That one's easy though. I mean, it's an easy hard mode to kind of. I just, it's the lightning bolts that come around, and it's the blizzards. It's like the Shade of Around fight, and that was always my least favorite and worst fight. Shade of Around was goofy.
I'm trying to find a thing for Thorim. Oh no, Mincy had top damage on that one. I can't show this one. Yeah, I'm trying to even think like what were the mechanics of that one because we had
class was Mincy?
He was on an enhanced shaman or spell enhanced shaman.
Oh,
yeah,
that makes sense actually.
Oh, so some people the melee just get to sit there.
Yeah.
The ranged are the ones that have to like jump down.
Yeah, because you usually keep melee in the arena and you put the range because you want that on the ads in the gauntlet, and you can AoE the ads down. So the faster you kill those ads, that's what triggers the hard mode. Don't run through the purple bubble shields. But if you can bribe somebody to keep you in the arena,
right?
Then.
And I'm trying to see if I had to move too much. I had to move a little bit, but not that much.
You have the blizzard though. Did you guys do hard mode or did you do normal?
Probably normal.
Was there a blizzard at any time during that fight?
Let me see.
If there wasn't a blizzard, you were doing normal because you might not even know because it is the easiest hard mode. It's just the blizzard's griefy and the lightning. If you're tunnel, get hit and die.
Yeah, I don't think we had a blizzard.
Yeah. So then it's easier on normal mode to like parse and like do what you need to do with no movement at all. You just like plant your feet. You just have to watch the lightning bolts coming out that go past you. Once you see that first little like lightning thing that will zoom past you, you move.
Oh, the little lightning beam thingies. Yeah.
Yeah, it comes out. The squiggles that come out. Thank you.
Squiggles. So when the squiggle goes by, we wiggle and we insect swarm. So we wiggle.
Wiggle.
Little wiggles. Little wiggles on Thorim.
Yes.
Got it.
More wiggles on Hodir. Little wiggles on Thorim. Actually, I think you want to wiggle a lot more on Thorim so you don't get hit by that because it hurts when you do. Yesterday, I was with a pug and I got stuck in the blizzard with the lightning ball because I couldn't move away from it and it was just, it hurt.
Oh.
Floor POV sucked.
Mm.
And they laughed because they're like, "There's nothing you could do about that."
All right, so yeah, no other big mechanics because I only did Thorim once and it was a 10-man. So there's the blizzard we need to probably move out of and the lightning beam.
Yeah, and what makes that hard on the same thing with Cologarn and Vezax really too, but what makes it hard is that you want to be like 10 yard spread like in KT in Nax. So the more people you have, the more people you can bump into because you can chain that lightning to other people. Yeah.
So that could be like, depending on our positioning, we might not want to have focus on that fight.
Exactly.
We're too far away from the boss. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Dude, I'm starting to really think about these like glyphs now.
Glyph swapping.
Damn.
All raid.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. We have Adianor in my guild he's on top of that. Alliance do too. They're on top of their glyph swaps, like Lothab and stuff like that. But there's like I have a friend who speedruns all the time and he's like, we don't have time for that. We don't have time to glyph swap. We don't have time to even like spec swap. We just go. And like that's sometimes my mindset also, but I think in Ulduar it's gonna be different.
Mm. And one of your buddies said to tell you hello. You know me, you know me, please, right?
Me, please.
Oh.
What's up, dude?
You broke.
I love me, please.
You broke the camera.
No, that you did. That was your fault.
What?
It was me. Me, please broke it.
It's his fault. I got it.
It's his fault.
We can blame him. He's not here to. He's not in voice to defend himself. I like it.
Dude, I've learned so much from you, please too. He was a very big supporter when I first like popped onto your Discord server. He was like, "Hey," he's like, "We have some ideas for you." I'm like, "Thank you," because I need to learn how to do this. Awesome, dude.
So Thorim. What's after Thorim? Freya.
Freya.
I did Freya once. Freya is a fun fight.
Freya is a fun fight.
Let me see if I can pull up the thing. What the log looks like on Freya. The replay. Oh, it doesn't look that bad. So yeah, we tried hard mode on Freya. And let me butcher the ad phases real quick. The explanation of the ad phases. So there's 3 potential different waves that could happen. There's one that's a single mob, and it's a big giant tree earthy dude.
Guardian, I think he's called. If I'm not mistaken.
And is that the one that has the mushrooms that pop up?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so
silence dude must be not underneath those mushrooms. So if you know that's coming, get in there so you can keep casting.
Yeah, so while you're moving, you're insect swarming, you're moon firing, you're instant cast starfiring with your 4-piece, and you're getting underneath the mushroom. And then you're able to cast. But none of this ad damage is going to count. Let me backtrack here. According to the Warcraft logs, nothing. I think it's possible because I don't know if it even specified.
Removes damage done to her until the last time she heals to full HP.
So yeah,
the last phase, right?
But it's not. It didn't say that the ad damages will be removed. I guess specifically, but it could. Oh. They could say that the ad damage will be removed. So yeah, nothing to her is gonna matter because she just keeps healing herself. That's part of the fight. So like, yeah, don't target Freya. But maybe
don't pre-pot on this fight. You do not need to pre-pot for this fight.
Yeah.
I was pre-potting just as a meme.
I love those. I love the fights that you don't have to pre-pop. I love those fights.
Those potions are expensive.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to remove the ad damage. They probably have to.
If you're looking at overall trash damage too, as a whole for Ulduar, it's going to be really expensive. If you're looking to do an overall damage thing, it's going to be monk and money. Because you can pop in like crit pots or haste pots throughout the whole entire thing. Because, like I said before, like trash mobs are like mini bosses. But yeah, if you want to really get that overall damage, spend the gold.
I do like overall damage.
Me too. That's how you tell a good player. And then she damaged you. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Freya.
Freya. So, me please is saying he likes focus on this fight. I don't like. So like I took focus off on this fight, so that because like when I was typhooning the ads, let me get back to the ad phases here. So we had the big guy, the solo guy, spawns the mushrooms. You need to get under a mushroom. So hopefully You don't go underneath the mushroom that like 3 other people are trying to go for, and then you have to find another mushroom, because that's going to suck. But use your instant cast to get under your mushroom. And I guess you can kind of spread out beforehand and hope and pray that you have your own mushroom to begin with. But it's 25. How many can you stack under a mushroom? Do you know?
I don't know.
Because 10 men, I thought it was like, you had to be under like your own mushroom. But anyways.
People saying that their own mushrooms.
Yeah. That's the easiest of the 3 ad phases, I would say, is that one.
You have to be careful too, because if you get Nature's Fury on that fight and you're under a mushroom, you can because that actually I had Nature's Fury and I popped under a mushroom. I didn't know somebody was there because you couldn't see it, and that dude ran to the next mushroom, and I was like, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. But you do. That's a big reason why. What does Nature's Fury do? Let's check that out and see. Oh, man, by the time this happens, like we're gonna be like experts on these.
I know. It's good. It's good. We're getting it out of the way now.
It is good, honestly.
Eat.
Nature. Yeah. I don't know. I'll find it.
Okay.
I don't want to waste.
No, you're good. And then so like that's one of the 3 possible waves that could happen, is that guy. The next one is like there's 3 ads and they all just kind of have to like die within 12 seconds of each other. And that one, not that bad either. But the hardest one, the one that's going to cause the wipes, is the 3rd potential wave, and it's like 10 lashers on 10 men. Maybe it's even more on 25 men. That'd be kind of wild. But yeah, there's like, let's just say there's 10 lashers, and they do explosion damage when they die. And on 10 man hard mode, it was like 5k damage, I think, per explosion. So I think I got hit like 4 times and I was like dead by 4 of them. And it's got a pretty big range. So
you have to get out of there fast.
We had 2 Boomies even in our 10 man, and we'll have 2, possibly 3 some weeks Boomies in our 25 man. So the strategy is for that one, everybody stacked up. You AoE'd all of them down together, and then when they got to like 10% HP, the first Boomy typhoons and knocks them back. And then we were doing it to where like I was the second one, and I would immediately like typhoon after, so they would get knocked, like land, and then get knocked again. But then we were having trouble with like finishing them off at that point before they ran back in range and blew people up when they died.
Yeah.
So
I think you can frost over them if you have a mage.
Hopefully, yeah, like the best Nova would be like the pet Nova, I guess. So it's like a ranged Nova.
Oh, yeah.
So the mage doesn't have to actually be up there in range.
The elemental can do it instead.
Mm-hmm.
Park it.
Or even have like, if you have an Ellie Shaman, have the Thunderstorm.
Oh, yeah.
Knock them back too.
That's an idea.
But yeah, so what I did, what I messed up on this fight was, I think it was like the 3-pack or something was like the first wave, and I typhooned on the 3-pack or something, or maybe no, like we had the ad phase. That's what it was. We had the lasher spawn, and I typhooned them early to do damage to them, and like it knocked them back, but because I didn't know what was going on, and then when it came time for me to actually use it to knock them away from the raid, it was on cooldown, and I had messed up. So yeah, hold your typhoons.
Hold your typhoons for that. Yes.
Until the end of that phase when the lashers are about to die.
Yes. And you don't really need the typhoon for, I mean, will that help your parses if you do it beforehand? Like if you continue to do it on cooldown, but if you're dead, there's no parsing when you're dead. So.
Yeah. And something that it might have been a bug for our attempt, but like the lashers got knocked and they didn't get dazed. And they just like ran back in. I'm hoping that's a bug. Did you see that happen at all?
Not that I completely recall.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
What it felt like was, you know how there's a mechanic in the dungeons where if you're in the dungeon or if you're in combat with a mob for longer than a minute, like you can't daze them or root them anymore. They become immune to that stuff. It
Right.
felt like that was in the raid on those mobs.
I mean, we did die when we did it with my guilds. It wasn't that bad, but I did a pug last night, and that maybe that's what was happening because it was weird. It now that you say it, so yeah, maybe hopefully it was a bug.
Yeah,
We
because
wiped a few times to that. Even on normal, we wiped on it.
if we can't keep them slowed, that's gonna really really suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, like hopefully, like me please is saying, like have a frost trap back there, so like once you knock them back, they'll be dazed, but then they'll also be like in a frost trap too.
I remember the hunter saying that might not work, but
Mm.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
That
So
could also be because maybe
bugs
they're
or
they're
something.
bugged out right now. Maybe.
Yeah. And plus,
Hopefully,
like,
please.
yeah, yeah. Fingers crossed.
So yeah, like I never like that was it. There were 6 of those waves. I don't think you can get the same one back to back. But yeah, we were also holding our Starfall. So that was another thing. Not just holding Typhoon until the end of that ad phase, we were holding our Starfall until we had that ad phase.
And I could see why you would not want focus there too, because you do have the tree, and I think the tree starts coming up as there's still ads out. So you can still do some passive damage to that tree as you're getting the other ads down, so you can move to the tree. Because as soon as that tree comes up, like you want to kill that as fast as possible. So yeah.
10 man, it wasn't that bad. It had like 28k health. So it kind of like fell over pretty quick. Like one Starfire crit had like half of its HP
It was
gone. Yeah.
right. But I think it's harder on 25 man. And I've heard
Yeah.
that Freya got buffed for 25 man. Like people were trying
Mm.
for like 3 hours on Freya hard modes.
Jeez.
Yeah, there was a group yesterday that was spamming forever. I think for yeah, Freya hard mode, Freya hard mode, Freya hard mode.
And what kept killing me in our 10 man was we would have that little lasher phase and we would get like to the end of it. We would like knock back. I would do my second Typhoon, knock them back again. And then like 2 or 3 of them would still hit me with their explosion when they died.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, like once the last lasher would die, Freya would hit me with like a solar beam and finish me
Oh,
off. Every like 2 attempts back to back. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like I just got sniped." Like,
that's
yeah,
rough. That's so rough. Oh
yeah.
man.
But
Yeah, the pug I was in there last night, they were single targeting them down. And he's like, it's so much easier this way. But like when I went in with the guilds, like we didn't have much of a problem with it. I don't know. Maybe we waited longer. We maybe waited till at 5% as opposed to 10%. So
yeah,
you're
that
not up.
that sounds better to like wait
Yeah,
later. I didn't want to like say that in our little 10 man that we were doing, but
I
if
think it's better to wait.
yeah, once we get into the 25 bands, I'll be whispering my raid lead like, I think we should wait a couple more percentage and then knock them back.
Wait, we're not back because Typhoon does damage also as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
it and as well. So yeah, I mean, and they had me make the call. So they were on my timeline, so they knew when it was gonna happen. So it's like, all right, let's spirit do that. So I was like, all right, you guys ready? Typhooning, and they'd be like, yeah. So I typhooned, and then we ran out. So I mean,
Yeah.
it took us a few attempts, but we were still like ironing things out. It was new for some of our people, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And even for that with like the Starfall, so I was waiting until the Lashers had like 50% ish HP, then I would pop Starfall so that the Starfall was damaging them hopefully until they died and exploded.
Smart. That's really smart. I think I was, yeah, that's smart.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, you kind of know what you're doing with the
Hey,
strat.
I'm coming with strats on the spot in there. Yeah.
Whoa, it's classic.
So,
Sorry.
so what actually happens once all 6 of those waves come down? Because I don't maybe it's guaranteed like you're going to get 2 of each ad. It's random which order they come in, but you get through the 6 ad or the 6 waves, and then the boss is there. What happens with Freya?
You kill her and you get loot.
Yeah, it's just a tank and spank, right? That's what I
It's just
saw.
tank and spank.
Okay.
There's something about the hard mode too, where you take her across the water for some. There's extra mechanics in hard mode too. I unfortunately didn't get to do hard mode on her this time around. I wanted to so badly.
Yeah.
I did it last time. But yeah, she's not that bad though. Once she's down, then or once the ads are down, it's a tank and spank. I think you might have to still watch for sunbeams if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Maybe, but It's a tank and spank.
Cool.
Yeah.
Freya, we've got 4 bosses left.
Really?
Are you good on time? Like, you're fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you?
Yeah.
Sure.
I just want to make sure,
because
because
it's going too long for you.
No,
when you're,
no.
like, your guys like hanging out in your stream.
I know I've been wanting to play some hardcore Wrath,
I
so
can't wait.
I've been itching the last couple days. I haven't got to get on my tune, but
Tonight, I'm playing hardcore tonight too.
nice.
Yeah.
All right, so Mimiron. I have not done Mimiron yet.
Oh, that's my least. That's my second least favorite fight. it's really rough on hard mode. I did hard mode last time. It was. There's a lot of stuff on the ground.
Mimiron? Wrath of the Lich King?
Does it tell you there's no parse stuff on that either? And I wonder because like the last phase of that, there's 3 things you have to hit is for Starfall. Man, I think we're Starfall Sims.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sure.
Ever since that first time I hit it, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's what that does.
Mimiron. Oh yeah. So what is the deal with Mimiron? I know there's a couple different, like, it's a machine and it's in a couple different parts, and it's going around the room. Do Boomies have to worry about any mechanics during like the first phase or anything?
Don't stand in the bad. There was last night the pug that I was in, they had the boomkin tanking. I forgot about that until now. I could try to pull that up too. I don't know why. I was trying to figure out what was going on, but he tanked one of those phases. I feel like it was the second phase. I thought it was kind of interesting. Man, there's so much PTR videos. If I go through this now, I actually forgot about it. Anyways, don't worry about it. Another time.
So the bad is just like fire, like oil slicks on fire or something on the ground?
Fires on the ground. There are mines that drop down like when you're in Blood Furnace. You can't stand in those. There is...
I wonder if those will proc Alkin Frenzy though.
Oh?
I'd be like, hey priest, bubble me please. I'm going in.
Please.
I'm popping this mine.
Once I see a boomkin, like their health going down, and be like, I know what you're doing.
And you see Alkin Frenzy on them? Yeah.
Well, I'll be doing the same thing when I'm in there in my boomkin, so it's okay.
Oh, if that works, look out, healers. You got some work to do.
Yeah. Gives us a lot. It's fine though. This makes it more fun. What else is in there? That fight is very similar to Lurker in SSC, where you have to run counterclocks or clockwise, because you can tell like when the artillery, the fire things are going off. I'm so bad at names right now. And there's 2 types of that too, where one is focused on you and one actually goes around, so you just have to watch where you are. On hard mode, I feel like it went faster and there was a lot more of it. So yeah, there's movement there that you have to kind of like plan for. There are bombs that come out you have to plan for, and you want to kill the boom bots again. It's kind of like a main theme throughout Ulduar. And then, if I'm skipping a phase, I'm sorry. The last phase, I'm doing this all on the top of my memory too.
Oh, you're good.
The last phase, there's the top, the middle, and the bottom that you want to try to kill, I think all within 15 seconds of each other.
So Starfall would hit all 3 of them, right?
Starfall.
I like it.
Maybe multi-dot them too.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Have all 3 going at the same time.
Yeah. Insect swarm all 3.
Yeah.
I would only feel comfortable doing that like in between eclipses. You know, like
when you have an eclipse, nobody gets an innervate, nobody gets to be risk.
Yeah. And yeah, like I'm only casting Wrath or Starfire.
Yep. I've got the innervate macro, and I'll say it on comms. I'm like, I'll get you after this eclipse.
Yeah. But yeah, like it'd be as soon as it starts, insect swarm, insect swarm, insect swarm, and then Wrath. And then look for Lunar. Yeah. And then you get your Lunar, go through Lunar. After Lunar ends, insect swarm, insect swarm, insect swarm.
the rotation.
Okay.
That's the thing with the Boomkin though. Like it is a simpler rotation than I guess like a melee class would be, but it's all about timing and it's all about when you're using those cooldowns and stuff, which actually was what adds complexity to the class. I think your positioning, all of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not. It's gonna feel so bad for me to multi dot. I'm really like pushing against it. People keep telling me you're gonna have to multi dot if you want to do damage, if you want to parse. I'm like, I don't want to.
That's one of the fights you're gonna have to probably.
Hmm.
You have the timer though, if you know that when your eclipse is on cooldown, right? On the weak aura.
Mm-mm.
Really?
Nah, I don't use weak ores.
Oh,
No.
why?
So I like the challenge of not using them. I have to think about it. It keeps me focused and like
That's fair.
in tune with what's going on. I do make mistakes though that I shouldn't make because I don't have them. So
I mean, what you're doing is working, so there you go. But um, there is a weak aura though, in case Foj. It's part of the Foji one, I believe, or it might be the Eclipse one, but it does tell you how much time your Eclipse is on cooldown. So like when I come out of an eclipse, I'll look at it and I'll see it like, oh, it's going to come off cooldown, so I can possibly get an eclipse. Let me try to throw an insect swarm, so I don't have to worry about that during a phase. So I have insect swarm up as I'm doing whatever. But
I gotcha.
yeah,
Anything else for Mimiron before we move on?
I don't like that fight. Let's move on.
Fair enough.
No, Thorim is the one that I'm.
All right, we've got
Rumon's fun. Actually, it's fun.
General
It's all fun.
Vezax.
Vezax. That's a juicy fight.
General Vezax.
Love that fight.
I mean, it looks like it's almost a 7-minute fight.
It's great.
6-minute fight, something like that. I'm trying to see.
I have a 25-man Yogg Boomkin POV. That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I'm trying to see what this fight even is. I don't remember seeing anybody do this fight. I think I saw you maybe do this fight like once.
I do that fight a lot.
Vezax.
I love Vezax.
What all is going on here?
There is no mana regens at all. There's no Vates that work. There is no mana potions that work. Dark runes will work, and Hunter Viper Sting works. That is all. Nothing else. Yeah. That's why I've been thinking about this actually from a gearing perspective too. It's like, do you go for crit? Do you go for haste? Like what's
Crit.
Oh
yeah, you get mana back from a crit. That should still work, right? You get mana return from your crits?
0.
What?
0 mana back, 0 MP5.
What?
Yeah.
This fight is blowing my mind right now.
This fight is awesome.
So once you go you're just sat there.
You don't, but if you're doing it on hard mode, then yes, you are. There's also, I believe you have to watch your threat too, so you have to scale back. I died. I was pumping. I was like sitting there, I'm like throwing starfires and rats, and all of a sudden like spirit, and he came for me and I died. It's like I was pumping.
Dang.
Yeah, it was great. Flexing. I did that on Illidan once too. I got one shot by Illidan.
So we want an intellect set.
Most mana, the best. Yeah, and I feel like intellect, and I do think crit is better because the faster the boss goes down, the more you don't have to worry about it. So these Saronite Vapors come up, and most strategies, the healers will be up at the feet of Vezax, so you can death grip the vapors, and they go on the ground. That's the only thing that will help you regen mana. The problem is if you're standing in that, it will also it'll make your health tick down. So I think if you get 4 or 5 stacks, you can literally get one shot.
Ooh.
So you kind of stand yourself in there, try to get some mana back if you're like completely Shadow crashes come down like the last the trash mobs in Old Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So when those shadow crashes go down, they leave a puddle on the ground that's black, and that will increase your damage. I think it
Oh.
increases damage taken also, but it also increases your damage. So the strategy is that sometimes you have 2 or 3 groups. So the shadow crashes come at the group, you move, you go back into the puddle. Move, you go back into the puddle. Then if you get Mask of the Faceless, you have to move away from everybody, because if you give other people a ticks of Mask of the Faceless, then he heals for a lot. So good luck trying to parse on that one. I don't know what to tell you.
It
Do you
sounds
want to see
like
it or?
yeah. I'm watching the tank spot guide right now.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I've got that one up.
Nice.
And it was like working as you were explaining it. It was showing it on the screen. It was perfect.
What? That's so
Yeah,
cool.
it was.
We're on the same wavelength. I was right about everything too, right?
You were what?
Was I right about everything?
It looked right. Yeah. Because as soon as you were like, yeah, if you get Mark at the Faceless, you have to run out. Like, he ran out right then. I was like, no way.
That's so cool.
So, yeah, like, sounds like those guilds that have the gear to DPS the boss down before you're going out of mana will have the advantage. If the boss is getting healed at all, that's really going to hurt. You have to do more damage. You're going to more likely go Yeah.
You can get the Saronite Vapors for yourself, but it depends on who's by you that can kill the Saronite Vapors and how far away they are. And to get to them, no matter where they're killed, like that's also taking DPS time down because you're moving over there. You have to watch your mana, so you can't really Moonfire spam because you're gonna rip yourself of manas.
Oh, so we're gonna need to have like Moonglow for that fight.
Moonglow for that fight, and
3 out of 3 Moonglow.
I'm also thinking no Glyph of Focus, because as you're moving and you're far away, you have more of an optimal chance for your Starfall to hit.
Yeah. What else could we min-max here on this? Spec-wise. I mean, just 3 out of 3 Moonglow sounds really good.
What's the other one?
I mean, there's Dream State and Intensity, but those are both like MP5, so
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Moonglow does what again?
What's that?
Moonglow does what? It's a less of a cost, right?
Yeah, it reduces like the mana cost for like 4 of our spells, I think.
Yeah.
Each point that you have in there. Yeah. 3 of 3 for this fight.
It's gonna be a fun one.
It looks interesting. I like the strategy that I see here that they're doing. They've got it's like the Shadow Crash, and then there's 2 groups, like one on each side. And then if the Shadow Crash comes down on one group, they just like run out, and then it crashes and they run right back in.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
But the thing is sometimes when you have Mask the Faceless and the Shadow crashes on you, that could really start hurting you, because then it's coming at you and you're trying to get back, and then you're getting knocked back again and you're taking damage, and the healers are mad because you're out of range.
Yeah.
It's a fun fight. I really enjoy that one.
And was there notes on that one? Vezax hard mode only. Count damage done to the Saronite Animus, or remove the boss from all rankings.
Wow.
So either count the damage to the ad, or just
don't count it.
Don't count it. Damn. So what's the Saronite Animus?
I don't know, to be honest with you. Is that the Saronite Vapor? Is that where you get the Saronite Vapor from? Oh,
like it's like a spark on Malagos. It has HP, so you grip it and then you kill it.
That's how you get your Saronite Vapors, yeah.
Why would it be like one or the other? That's weird.
I don't know. Warcraft Logs, what are you thinking?
Yeah, what?
No more Vapors will spawn beyond the 6. If all 6 are alive, they will Oh, I see. That's a hard mode thing. All right, so
the hard mode, you can't get the mana back?
In hard mode, you do not use that. You don't get mana at all. There's no mana.
I gotcha.
Killing Vezax too quickly will prevent hard mode. The path to hard mode is to allow 6 Saronite Vapors to spawn, which means 3 minutes of fighting since the pull. So 3 minutes with no mana regen.
Oh, so that's why it's like remove it from the logs, because you have to wait.
Yeah.
So you could let somebody just do extra damage up until that 3 minute point. Okay.
And this is why they're saying like speed running might be dead in Ulduar. But I don't know. Did you
Oh,
watch the thing with the devs with Sarth, Chris,
yeah.
and Jordy?
Hmm.
That interview was that was amazing. And they were like, you could see the devs. One of them was just like, "Yep, can't wait to see you guys. You're gonna do that speed running and all of war."
I need to go back and watch it now that I've gone through another like weekend of PTR like experience. I need to go back and re-listen to what all they said.
I woke up on like I woke up early that day just as like whatever, and I saw that on. I was like, "Oh my god, that's today!" I'm such a WoW nerd. Um, yeah. But I guess no more vapors will spawn beyond the six, and if all six are alive, those that are kind of like floating around the room, they form, and then they create an NPC,
Uh,
which does not make anime real, but rather needs to be killed. So if that's alive for the hard mode, then you have to kill that. So I guess that's what they're talking about on Warcraft logs.
okay. I kind of like it. I kind of don't like it.
Yeah, same.
I'm gonna have to see how it feels when I actually get to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it kind of makes you have to think about what you're doing. It's a streamlined fight, that's for sure.
All right, so Yogg.
Yogg-Saron.
Yogg.
Yeah. My first round kill on PTR, I literally said to the raid lead, I was like, "You made my PTR dreams come true. Thank you so much." I was dead ass serious too.
Yeah, I didn't even get close to seeing Yogg.
Yogg's awesome. Here, do you want to watch one?
I've got the tank spot one up. Sorry to
All
just be
right.
like, I got the tank spot one up,
No, no,
but
no,
it's
do
just
your thing.
because I have it set up for like a browser
Yeah, yeah, do your thing.
instead
You're good.
of yeah.
You are good.
uh, so yeah, walk me through Yogg. How many phases are there? There's probably a couple.
The first phase, when you go in there, you try to kill the ads down that come out of the poison clouds, and if you see those like little poofs of green stuff,
Mm-hmm.
if you hit those, then it makes the ads come out, and the more you have out there, the more damage is being taken. They're kind of like the lashers that look like when they're about to die, they explode.
Mm.
So melee has to run out. If you're a caster, it's easy to tunnel, so don't hit into those things, and people will yell at you for it.
Oh yeah, so it's kind of like Gar too, all the way back in like Molten Core. Did you do Molten Core?
I did molten core, yeah.
Okay, I was like, you didn't do AQ40, so let me. It's like, let
No,
me
no, I
see.
was I was running molten core until I couldn't run molten core anymore. Plus, I was trying to get
Yeah,
benediction too. I got benediction. Um,
the Gar binding. Ugh.
the gar bindings. People, I help somebody farm that still to this day. One of our warlocks got one this past week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, our warriors are mad. Um, so yeah, and then the second phase happens, and I think that's the portal phase where people go downstairs. You have to kill stuff downstairs. Then there's the group that's upstairs, so it's another asynchronous fight, just like Thorim. There are constrictor tentacles and there are crusher tentacles. Sorry, corruptor tentacles. You want the corruptor tentacles. Range goes on the crusher tentacles. Don't go near the crusher tentacles. The corruptor tentacles grab you. They can be bopped out of them. Um, there's a lot. Are you ready for this?
I'm trying to follow along. I think I'm with you still.
Okay, that's the second phase. Second phase is like it's very hectic. Um, there's something where you have to look away.
Oh yeah.
So people go into the brain. So people are. I've never done AQ40. I haven't done Cthulhu. I need to go into one of the achievement runs just to like say I've done that. Um, but you go into the brain like you would on Cthulhu, and you go down. So that group is doing something different than what's going on upstairs, and they're killing stuff downstairs too.
So is that random, or you get to choose who goes down?
You get to choose who goes down. I
Okay.
believe only two people in each portal. The portals look like the Caligos portals.
Oh yeah, I see those little ports. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't. I mean, for Alliance, they're going into Stormwind. Is it different for Horde? Is Horde going into like Orgrimmar or something?
It changes for each time you go in there.
Ah.
Yeah. It's a cool fight.
Oh, I guess this is a horde team that's doing it. But yeah, they went. That was cool. They went into Stormwind.
Yeah, this one is Stormwind too. Yep, yep. I'm going through the one I did.
Yes, this. I mean, so far it's looking like none of the damage up to this point is going to count for logs. If your part of your raid is in a portal, it's not going to log correctly. Let me see.
It's interesting too because they say only count the damage to the first 8 guardians of Yogg-Saron. So that I believe are the guardians when you first start the fight. So why spawn extra if it doesn't count towards your parse?
Yeah,
Make the
or
boss count
if
faster.
that's not possible, remove phase one and remove the damage done to the leftover guardians.
Which again, if there's leftover guardians, that sucks.
Yeah.
You still have to kill them. You're still wasting some damage that you could be doing other things on. Or exclude damage done to guardians of Yogg-Saron at all. So then just remove all of that phase 1 stuff. It doesn't even matter.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's some way of dealing with phase 2, it looks like they're trying to figure it out still.
Oh yeah. All right. So after the teleport Stormwind phase, they're back up there. Is this just like a rinse and repeat of the beginning of the fight, or
Yes.
this is where they're killing the guardians?
Uh, I think the guardians are the ones like right from the beginning, so those guys do come back later on in the fight from what I remember.
Okay.
I just did this last night. I'm sorry. It's all a blur.
All good.
Um, the Guardians are those guys, yeah, and they do come back later in the fight. I'm just living through this fight right now. There is Melody. If someone has Melody, you have to move away from them because they can't do anything. You have to get away from them. There is a Brain Link. If you have a Brain Link, you have to go towards that person.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one. So it's like two people get it, right?
Yes.
Two people get the link and they have to come together.
Yeah, so it's the opposite of the mother fight where you have
Yeah.
that link.
And
It's
you had to
opposite.
run away. Yeah.
Yeah, this way you're like, no, no, come closer, please. The damage isn't that bad, so if someone has Melody, um, I guess you can still go. You should still get away from them if you have brain link on them. I asked that question last night. Now, from a parse perspective, they didn't. They're mentioning guardians, but they're not talking about constrictor tentacles or crusher tentacles. So I don't know.
Yeah, those probably won't count.
Don't glyph or focus on that either because there's a lot of them. So
Okay. And
yeah.
then I mean, just my initial thought is saving rocket boots for the brain link to get back to my linked person. You think there's a
Mm,
better time to
I
use that?
I think it'd be better if you're trying to get to the portals faster so the portals don't close on you. Um, Also, if you kind of tunnel and you are possibly going to hit into one of those clouds in the beginning, use your rocket boots to get through that. Also,
Oh yeah,
you
because
also
we could probably use it a couple times in this fight
yes,
since
it's a
it's
long
so
fight.
long. Okay.
Yeah, and you can dash also. I know that's your favorite thing to do, but you can
Mm,
dash. I know
I
it's
can't
so
moonfire and dash at the same
stupid.
time.
Yeah. I had someone actually twice. They were like, "Stop backpedaling." So strafing on this fight is very important, as always. But like this one in particular, it's very apparent to me. Um, if you're upstairs though, multi-dotting for this because you do have like 3 or 4 tentacles out at the same time. So insect swarming those tentacles down is a good move.
And fishing for those 4-piece Starfire procs. Okay,
I guess 4 piece is going to be viable
I gotcha. On this fight.
on this fight.
Yeah, let me clarify a little bit more on this fight.
Have you been able to sim T8 yet?
Yeah, you can sim T8. Yeah,
You sim it?
yeah. I don't really sim too much too often. So like I did it like right when they finalized the eye level change. I simmed a little bit, but I haven't gone back since then.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you guys do loot list or
Yeah.
straight loot council?
Our loot list uh it went like we got our link for the loot list yesterday.
Oh,
Uh
nice.
when, Saturday? Sunday? Saturday? Yesterday? I don't know. It was like within 48 hours of now. I think we got it. So I need to look at it and fill out my loot list. Yeah. Speaking of that, I forgot to ask, what guild are you in right now? I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. The opposition.
The opposition. How like what's the mindset of your guild?
Semi-hardcore. Not speedrunning focused, more prog focused, more achieve focused, um, and more just having fun. They're focused on having a good time and like making sure like our guild master's amazing. He really tries to make sure that everyone's like good to go. He's I have a lot of respect for him.
So what kind of loot system do you guys use?
LCRC, where it loot council loot list. Or that you know that add-on that you have, the RC
Yeah.
loot council.
I was just processing. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I was connecting to that. I was like RC LC.
Yeah, that thing comes up and
And then
yeah.
you said like loot council, loot list. So I'm like, that's LC LL.
LL.
And
Yeah.
so
I'm sorry, the add-on was in my brain. That's
yeah,
why I explained it.
I was trying to get like the acronym down. That's my bad.
Yeah, no, it's my bad too. It's good. But yeah, it's they go according to loot lists, but they're starting to go a little off of that just because we don't have much time left in Nax, and I think they're trying to just get some gear like really distributed so we have the best chance. But yeah, they're not speed run, but we got top 22 this week, which is really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty badass.
Yeah, this was the one where ours didn't count this week.
Yeah.
I don't even know like where we would have ranked, but I would have like we're not a speed running guild either or anything.
You guys are more parse, right?
We're more like we're semi casual like you guys. Like we've got a mix of like ideologies in the raid. So like some people they're there for like the achievements, like the mounts, the flare. They're not really there to like parse or do the speed. And then there are those like myself that are there to like parse and hopefully like speed along through there, like the 4 Horsemen achievement nights. I sat there and like cringed at my desk. I was like, and yeah, like
those are rough because you're piping.
We're like 3-way split. It's pretty like even. There's like 7 or 8 of each like different ideology of people that want to do different things. Like I don't want to call them casuals. They're not really casuals, but like the ones that are just there to like play and have fun. Whatever happens, happens. If they get loot, they get loot. If we get an achievement, they get the achievement. If they parse, they parse. Like there's that little group, and then there's the like the pumpers that are like, if we get below a 95 on a fight, like we're like, dang, that fight sucked. Like we need to make improvements. Like what happened? We need better uptime on this debuff. Like, and then yeah, there's the ones that are just like, can I die on Sarth this week so that I can get the volcano achievement so I can get my mount? It's like, I don't want to die, and I don't want you to die. I want your DPS there so that I can have a better parse because the boss is dying faster.
We just want to zerg it.
You don't die. Dodge the things. Look up.
Stay alive.
Get a weak aura that tells you to move.
Yeah, no, our guild is like done that where it's like, this is an achievement night, like this is what this is specifically for, so we're not like staggering it all out there. But yeah, I'm with you on that. We have a mixture like that as well.
As long as I know beforehand that we're gonna be trying this achievement this night, I'm good.
You're okay
but
with it, yeah.
What happened some nights, I'm not trying to blame anybody like our raid leader or anything. Hopefully he's not watching. But we've always had like the mentality that it's an immortal night. We still haven't got it. So it's like every night it's like the immortal night. So then like we would get through, we might get like a wing or 2 down, and then like somebody might die, and then I'm like, okay, we're done with achievements for this night. And then we would get to like Saffron, and they're like, all right, we're not going to have frost resist on this one, so we need to move out of the blizzard. We can't just stay in the blizzard and heal through it. You know, like we want to make sure that our healers are fine. And I'm like, I need to move. I want to stand in the blizzard. Let me stand in the blizzard. Like,
please let me stand in the blizzard.
This wasn't discussed before the raid. Like, and then it's like, all right, we get to KT. All right, we're gonna do the A-bomb achievement. No, I don't. No, I don't want to burn my mana in phase 1. AOEing down the A-bombs. No.
I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, it is kind of fun.
It's fun, but yeah, I hear you on that one. It does grip a lot of mana.
Yeah.
A ton of mana.
So
I was holding back on PIs on my priest for some of our pumpers. So I was like, you are not dying. You are not playing threat. We do not care. I am sorry about your parse knight. We need immortal.
hmm
I know I know I grieved. I felt really bad about it.
yeah, so Ulduar, I think on one boss in 10 man, I got like 3 achievements. And I was like, oh gosh, I hope it's not like an achievement like heavy raid, but it looks like it's gonna be. So
It's an achievement heavy raid. I think they took out the immortal aspect of that to get the mount though.
it looked like it was like per boss instead of for the like one entire instant like raid ID.
Instance.
So yeah, like if nobody dies on one boss, then that gets checked off, and then you can die on the other bosses however many times. That's fine.
Oh, oh, I didn't know
That's
that it
what
was
I
just.
heard.
Oh,
So then
oh, that's
next
cool.
week you get
Or yeah, I mean, it's
yeah.
easy.
So you could get like 3 bosses checked off the first week, and then you could get another 3 the next week, and so on until you've gotten all the bosses where nobody's died. That's what I've heard, but it's
Oh,
achievements. I haven't been looking at them.
that's really cool. There is an achievement for Yogg-Saron. I think that you have to slash hug or slash kiss Sarah. I
Oh
think I
my
learned about
gosh.
that.
Is that going to stay in? Does
I'm
she
pretty
give
sure it is.
consent for us to kiss her?
She does. She does. She. I think she kisses or hugs you back. I hope so. I don't
Blizzard.
know why. Oh my god, I probably shouldn't bring this up. Maybe it's slightly inappropriate, but you're playing hardcore. Have you played Alliance hardcore?
Yeah.
All right. Have you gone into? Oh my god, is it Kranos? I think like level
Hmm.
8 or level 9 if you're
Mm-mm.
dwarven or if you're gnome, but the painting is still up there. The one that
Oh.
kind of got turned into a follow fruit. I was with my friend Met, and I was like, "Dude, come back in here." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "It's worth it. Just come back in here."
Just trust me.
The ladies up there. Sorry. Anyways, speaking of consent, I'm sorry.
All right, yeah. So back to Yogg.
That's young.
So you're going down in the portals. We're coming back up. I'm trying to skip through this video here to get back to where we had left off at. The phase, whatever the last phase is that matters here. So looks like they came back up from being down below,
Mm.
like six and
Last
a half minutes in.
last phase isn't that bad. You have to watch your insanity buffs, and you have to. Anytime you're next to somebody with malady, you get insanity taken off of your stacks. If you don't do the brain link, I believe, and it's a set amount that gets taken off. If you don't do the brain link, I think there's some stacks that you lose also. If you're close to something else, you lose stacks. So the thing with bright lights is, are you seeing a bright lights or are you seeing the zero lights from tank spot?
Oh, this one is it's a war main video from a private server, I guess,
Oh, I see.
from Beers Guild. Huh.
On Warmane?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I wonder if it's related.
I I wouldn't be surprised. We've got some great players on our server. Mankrik's pretty fire. I think it's an underrated server, honestly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great players on our server. I mean, we got 2 guilds on our server that are world ranked.
hmm
Top 20. It's cool. It's really cool. Um, I don't know if you're seeing if you're up top, but you see like the green beams coming down.
Mm, I don't think so. Is this towards
All
the end
right.
of the fight?
Yeah, I mean it's like the second phase, third phase too. You have to watch your sanity buffs or insanity buffs because like if you go insane, it's kind of like Leotheris, which was my favorite fight in SSC. I loved that fight. I love the premise of that fight. Um, if someone goes insane, you have to kill them. You don't CC them, you just kill them and they're dead. Done. But yeah. in order to get those sanity buffs back up or the stacks back up, you can go into the green portals and you can go back to 100.
Mm.
The thing with zero lights though is that those are not there, so you have to play super clean because
Yeah.
if you go insane, you're gonna wait.
Okay.
That's why Yogg-Saron is tough.
Yeah.
If you do one light, I think most people will take Thorim because I think it helps decrease the damage of the guardians and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Anything special on that fight? Like, does Yogg take extra damage at any point? Because you had mentioned it's kind of like
I
the
was so
AQ40
excited.
boss.
Well, they're going downstairs and
Just the
they're killing something.
downstairs aspect. Okay.
When they're downstairs, you're upstairs dealing with the tentacles.
Mm. Like when can you damage Yogg? Only at the end of it?
There's a certain window that you can damage, and when you can damage them, you damage him.
Okay.
In that window. What is the Ulduar say? I forgot. I don't know if they said it was a 10-second or 30-second. 30 seconds seems too long for me for some reason.
30 sounds good.
30 sounds good.
Please.
I think it's too good to be true. My God, there's so. Have you seen this? Like, there's so much. I think this is why it's okay to kind of like still reference this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, phase 2, the tentacles come up, malady of mind, death ray, brain link, psychosis, induced madness. Youngster sexual caster. Ranged on crushers, melees on corruptors with interrupts. Oh yeah, you have to interrupt things as well. It's important. Brain room saves cooldowns for the brain itself. Mr. Blah blah. When decays, space 3. I'm not sure. I think there's a special window that you can actually get him down.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like last boss. People are excited to be there, and you're just like doing whatever your rating tells you to do at that point, you know.
Mm-hmm. So that could be like a sort of a DPS check where you have to have X number of DPS windows
in that window
in order to parse if that boss is going to count. Yeah. Okay. I know that was always fun in AQ40 on Sethune. Like trying to like one phase it or two phase it, however many phases it was of like the DPS phases. That was fun. Trying to meet that check.
One day I'll know what it's like. When Psalm comes back out again, maybe. Can you do AQ40 on Psalm? You should be able to.
Yeah, yeah. They changed, like they revamped AQ40 for it. Like they made hard modes for it.
That's awesome.
Should I say? Yeah. I didn't get to do it, but
I remember you like you interviewed somebody that did Psalm.
Yeah, yeah. I did like one for each like phase. Interviewed somebody that was like pumping.
That's cool.
For each of the raids, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that looks like a chaotic fight.
Yogg's a lot. There's a lot going on. That's why it's been a week and a half. I haven't done Ulduar until this time of my World of Warcraft career, so it's all still new to me, and I'm still learning. I mean, but that's the fun of it, you know.
Did you get to do Algalon at all?
I got to poke Algalon once.
Just poke him? Just.
We poked him, and the tank got one shot, and we were like, all right, we saw it. That was fun.
GG.
Yeah. I think I got to like touch one of the stars, because you're only supposed to like do one star at a time. But I was watching Jordy's stream. They got Algalon down, I believe, yesterday. They got it. I remember them getting it down to 3%, and then I think they got another attempt where they got it down. Fusion.
Nice.
Yeah, Noobs got it the first round of PTR too.
Yeah, so I myself might not be seeing that boss for a while.
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah.
If you see the BIS list that Cosmo had put out, I saw it today. There's a lot of Algalon loot on that list. I was like, all right, what's our second and third BIS?
Yeah. I know. Like, that's what I'm going to be considering when I put my loot list together. Like, do I really want to put like 2-3 pieces of Algalon on here? Maybe one? Like, yeah.
Is it worth it? Maybe guilds should like exclude the Algalon loot from that loot list.
That's part of your LC for your
I mean, it's
particular guild.
not a bad idea. Like have an Algalon focused raid or loot list, and then make the Algalon loot separate from that.
That'd be nice because if somebody that's struggling with mechanics has Algalon loot like at the top of their list and they've died X amount of times during your raid and you like this guy just won a piece of loot when they stood in the void zone on whatever, like how? Like they got mind controlled on Yogg because they lost their insanity buff.
And I guess that's why loot list is yeah, you have to balance the loot list with the loot council.
I got
The
you.
council making those decisions too.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, you do have to kind of like spread your gear. Like you gotta gear your tanks. Like that's so important. And for the DPS checks, you gotta make sure your DPS is beefy. So yeah. Give Valmir to all the boomkins. That's it.
Best clip I could make of the night right there. Clipping it and shipping it.
Please don't.
Send
All
it,
the holy pallies will be like, no.
sending it to my raid lead right now.
I did that once. I actually, when you were like, yeah, you should tell your raid lead to let you keep your vates, and I was like, do you see what Go said? That was my previous skill. They're like, yeah, no, it's not happening. I was like, all right.
I had somebody whisper me this morning, or like message me on Discord, and they were like, they sent me a screenshot of what they sent to their raid lead. They're like, I trust this guy's opinion. This is what he says I should get for loot. I was like, that's a lot of pressure. I didn't know people were doing that. Like,
you have a platform. It's there.
I guess. Yeah.
No, you have a lot of great things to say. I've learned a ton from you. I really have.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're like, not to be like mushy, but you're the reason why, like you and me, please too. Like two of you guys, like, are the reason why I'm like a good Boomie at this point.
I
had
wanted
no idea what the hell I was doing until I stumbled upon your Discord.
I wanted to get him back on and talk to him about phase 2. But he
Yeah.
kind of like split off and he was doing some DK stuff, so I was like, bro, you left us Boomies, bro. Like,
He's a traitor.
yeah, but now that Gary's going downhill, maybe he's going to be coming back.
Snapshotting's gone. Let's go.
Yeah.
Come back to us, please. Come back to the flock.
Yeah. Get back under our wing.
Yeah.
Join the nest.
Join the nest. Oh my goodness. How many more Boomkin
I know. Yeah.
can we make? Gotta love it. We are a special breed, that's for sure.
We stick together too. Unless it's him and you fly away. You leave the nest.
We'll take you back. It's okay. Clip that. We'll send it to him like multiple ones.
Yeah, so here you go. All right. Yeah, I think that's everything I had for Ulduar then. Unless you had anything else to add to any of your experience you had.
It was amazing. That's pretty much, yeah, it was great.
I had loads of fun, and I was only in there for maybe 4 or 5. No, actually, the second time I was in there for a couple hours. So maybe like 6 hours worth, 5-6 hours worth of PTR in there, and I had a blast.
It's great, honestly. It's just you get to meet other WoW players too. It's a way of like it's like a WoW party for a few days.
Yeah, a little block
Like, oh,
party. Yeah.
it kind of is, yeah. Yeah, and there's like all these like different ways of like doing things that you learn and just meet really cool people. But yeah, I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be interesting to see how guilds get through it.
I'm worried about.
Look at that. I just realized it.
What's that?
It's like Christmas gift bag on my
Uh-oh.
door. It's like that thing back there.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about our progression, but it kind of like made me feel a little bit better about the hard modes and stuff when I got in there. Because I've been hearing a lot like, yeah, the hard modes are going to be super hard and stuff, but I did only do 10, man. But still, like, I think the hard modes will be hard. Yeah, they'll be hard, but hopefully they're not like brick walls like Muru and Sunwell.
Yeah, it comes down to prestige too. Like if you're the guild that's able to clear the hard modes like that first week, and like you're seeing people walking around with that gear and you don't have it, like, and but it's the game, you know, and to see how your guild does is kind of awesome too. I think the realistic thing is to not see hard modes until you're like 2 or 3 weeks in, just to kind of not stress out other players for semi-hardcore guilds, you know. But I think for us, I think we'll be all right. We're gonna try some hard modes. We're gonna try some not so hard modes just to get through. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm kind of curious how Mankrik's gonna fare going on through it too.
Oh yeah. As a server.
As a server, it'll be interesting to see what goes on, because we have an influx of like new guilds come over recently. I've noticed.
I don't pay attention.
Oh really?
I just try to get out of Dalaran without lagging too much to get to Nax, and then that's about it.
Gotcha.
I haven't really looked at like server rankings much either. I did look at like personal like Boomy, and I was like, oh, I'm like top 10 for this boss. Haha, yeah. And I know a couple of like Boomy names on there too. But
yeah, there's some
guild names I don't really know too well.
Gotcha. But like even the server rankings too, it depends on what guilds those players are from. Because if you're speed running, your DPS is going to be higher also. So it's all relative sometimes.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I checked. I was 68th overall. First split.
Woo
I'm
woo.
very happy. Split. That's not bad.
All right. Well, thanks for hopping on here for almost 3 hours. I think it's been, right? 2 hours 40 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun talking to you though. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good discussion. Thanks for all the input. If you're wrong on anything, I'll be messaging you like you were wrong on this, you were wrong on that. No, I'm just kidding.
If anybody in your stream is like fact checked her, she's wrong. You guys can come into me and like please tell me. I am fine. I'm okay with being like corrected because then you learn. So.
Let me get your Twitch here so I can post it in the chat here.
Yeah.
Spirittchill with 2 T's.
2 T's.
And 2 L's. Spirittchill.
Yeah. Just because the other Spirittchill was taken, so I had to do that for Twitch.
And you've been streaming a lot lately. Do you have a schedule? You just kind of like hop on whenever you're feeling like hopping on?
I do. Wednesdays and Thursdays for sure is our raid nights. I think we might be taking a week off. It depends. They said that this week is our last Nax, hoping that Ulduar is the week after that, so we'll see. But yeah, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Mondays is our other night, so we'll be doing our 10-mans that night too.
Cool.
So those are guaranteed, and then the other ones are just random. Whenever something happens, it's like, pop on, like, hey, stream this and have fun.
Cool.
Yeah. If you guys are out there and listening, just pop in and say hi. But more so,
go.
Yeah.
No.
Hang out with him. Yeah.
Are you gonna stream any hardcore?
I've been thinking about it. I don't know if I should or not. What do you think?
Well,
have you been doing it?
You're supposed to have like footage just in case like you get DC'd or something like that if you want to make an appeal. So I've been streaming all of like my main run, and I'm doing a duo with my buddy Mincy, and he was just like recording it. So like we didn't stream. We did 1 to 10, didn't stream it, but he was recording it. So
gotcha. I made a separate Twitch one just so I can do that if I wanted to like stream it too, and just like keep hardcore separate from the raid content. But I don't know, like from a Twitch like streamer like perspective, I'm just trying to like navigate that and figure it out too. It's like, I kind of want to because it's really fun.
I mean, you already have like a couple different classes that you're streaming, so I don't see why not. Like, just my opinion.
Yeah, I have a level 12 priest already, which is cool. And then our duo is level 9 or level 8, level 9. So yeah, want to get to level 60. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Graze is like he's been going.
Dude, every couple days I see he's doing like a new class. I'm like, dang.
I was watching one of his duos today. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
He asked a question today, which I thought was interesting. Is like, would you, once you get to 60, would you go for level 60 pre-best content, or would you just park your 60 and just enjoy it?
Pre-best would be kind of fun, I think.
It'd be fun.
Until you've
your second 60. Leave the first 60.
You get the first one and just park that one. Keep it pristine. Yeah.
They did that RFC thing this weekend, but like PTR was like in the way of
I know. I was gonna do it, yeah.
Where are you going to?
Then the PTR was there. We had our scheduled time at 2. And I think it
Oh
was like
yeah.
11 was that, and then like 3 o'clock they made the
Draft.
groups and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I can't. Damn.
Yeah. Next time.
Mhm.
Next time.
All right.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
I'll start streaming that, but we'll see. Mostly raid content, but we'll see. We'll see about the other stuff.
right on.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm probably heading to bed here soon. I gotta get up, and I've been putting hikes off for the last like couple weeks. I need to get up tomorrow at the break of dawn and go on a hike.
Man, it must be nice to have 38-degree weather right now.
It better be cold tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
that's what's been putting me off. It's been like up in the 60s during the day, and I'm like, that's too hot. I want it to be like 40s, like the low 40s, mid 40s, at like the maximum. And I think that's what we're getting tomorrow. Is like 40s, maybe 50. So
That's a good. I mean, 50s that's not too bad for a hike.
yeah. Mm.
Yeah, do that. That'll be good.
All right.
For sure.
Yeah. So
Thank you for having me, and honestly,
yeah.
like, thank you for everything that you've done for like Boomies and stuff. You put a lot of your time and effort into that. I've said that a lot. I say it to people. I was like, he's done so much. Like, it's the best Boomie Discord server ever.
I'm trying. Yeah, there's a lot of great people in the Discord that I wasn't really expecting, and like it's just kind of gotten to a point where I don't have to answer everybody. You know, like somebody will be like post a log review or something, and people will look at it and answer, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty sweet. I thought that I was always gonna have to be the one to answer all these things. So yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of cool people in there.
Yeah, you fostered a community for it, which is it's good.
Right. Well, I will catch you later. Thanks again for hanging out.
Peace out, guys. Too.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.